They're getting misunderstood.
That's it. All right. Well, let's start our meeting today, and we will start with roll call. Committee member Kineski. Here. Hart.
Here.
Kenny.
Here.
Rise. Here. Bolden.
Here.
Rust. Here. And committee member Lentz is absent today, and committee member Bowers is on. And I'm here as well. Oh, sorry, Chair Fox. That's all right. You mean, but all right. No problem. All right. And do we want to have anyone that will make a motion to excuse? Kevin Wemple. Okay. Second? Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Did you get Steve is here now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Steve, the center to that? Okay, there's been excused. All right, next up, we have the minutes from 10/17/2025. I did note that there should be a change to the minutes. The list of the members of the committee should be changed to reflect that Councilmember Harless isn't a member right now. Any other changes to the minutes? Okay, any motions to approve the minutes as amended? All
So
right,
moved.
any seconds?
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We have community communications.
There's nobody signed up. And no one is.
All right,
They're presenters.
all right, yeah. Okay, so we don't have anyone from the community signed up or here in person, so we'll move on to our next item of the day, which is our application presentations. All right, Chris, you're on the hook.
We are on. Are you okay with going early?
Yeah.
Might as well get ahead in case things start to run long. Okay.
I have some things to point out.
And then get this,
Should be.
Okay.
So I sent in a PowerPoint presentation, which should be coming up now. So I'll run through that. And then I brought out this year's passport. I think everybody's probably seen them from years past, but here's an updated one.
Have you introduced yourself?
Yeah, I'm John Park. I'm the managing director from Vancouver Arena. We hold the Pokemon Go Fest celebration here in Vancouver. We've done 3 years running now. We're applying for a 4th year. Slide deck will give some numbers from this year's event, and I'm happy to answer any questions about next year's event.
trying to get the timer pulled up. It's not one.
I can do it on my phone too.
Yeah, it's like not sharing both the timer and.
City of Vancouver here today?
Yes.
Sorry, not City of Vancouver. Visit Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
No.
Yes, the city of. Stood on my phone and I'll.
So that's the PDF. Do you have access? You should have the link to the PowerPoint itself.
I present in power and.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. Well, Chris, are you okay with having the timer, just
Yeah.
letting them know when it's up? I don't know why it's not letting me share the presentation and.
Yep, I got it.
I mean, I'll use all the time.
He'll just give you maybe.
I'll maybe say like this live or something like that.
All right, so I was able to sit down with Cliff Myers, President and CEO of Vancouver, Washington, and go over the numbers with him. So I have an email from him supporting all the numbers. I'm not sure what was sent into LTAC, but I have support here. It's nice of the city to offer that, the sit down one-on-one with the Vancouver, Washington. They have a model that they use to generate the numbers. So 10,000 plus attendees this year. After that, it starts to get really hard to estimate people, the total crowd size, but 10,000 plus. We had 2,000 plus visitors from greater than 50 miles away and /and/or out of state, generating 571 overnight stays at local hotels. Total business sales was 436,000, and the ROI for the city was more than the grant given to us. So I consider that very successful. You can see the lines here Saturday morning waiting to hit the registration booth. And we had packed crowds 9 to 6 both Saturday and Sunday. Slide, please. So this is one of our key features of the event. We do a small business passport that features around 15 or so businesses each year. Attendees get a passport for free. They visit the local businesses on Main Street to get a Pokemon stamp. We try to activate Main Street with fun things like sidewalk stenciling, window painting to make it kind of like that Disneyland experience where just walking down the street is exciting in and of itself. So to complete this, to consider completed with this passport, you have to visit at least at minimum 15 businesses. There are 17, but we only require 15 because you never know. Business has to close for the day for whatever reason. So we try to have that little difference in there. So we handed out over this 3,000 plus passports. We received back 771 that were fully completed. So that means 11,500 at minimum business visits. And we give them not just the weekend to do it now, we give them the entire month so they can spend more time in the business instead of having to rush and get their stamps before time runs out. So we're trying to create more time in the business. So 11,500 is the minimum. We actually, that's accounting for 771 fully completed. But there were actually over 3,000 passed out. So it's actually much higher than that. Oh, and no, I had no idea downtown had so many cute businesses. Lots of positive feedback from the businesses. People finding out about Main Street has to offer. The next slide. So in the third year, we grew from about 20 vendors to 100. We had the kid entrepreneurs come out, and they had between 40 and 50. They had 50 sign up, which was the max they can do. And there's always a few that don't come out. But so there was between 40 and 50 that came. Already 2 minutes. All right. So we partnered with Children Entrepreneurs Market. We had 100 vendors, either local vendors that focused on locally made crafts, multiple vendors, most sales I've ever done at any of these events. My inventory has been completely wiped out. We had people having to stay at a hotel, make more crafts, sell the next day because they were being totally wiped out. Pokemon is the largest media franchise in the world based off of dollars, and it shows. Next slide, please. We had VPD there. So with the help from Vancouver PD, Officer Jenny was able to take Team Rocket into custody, and there were no further incidents. So we had VPD out there. We had no incidents. We also had volunteers that were our arena monitors. They're charged with making sure the hydration stations have water, watching for lost children, taking care of garbage, trash, those type of things. VPD was on it. We had one child that arena monitor identified was calling for the mom, and VPD was already walking up. So that was the only thing that happened over the weekend. So that was excellent. We do a ton of community building event, crafts, Onyx the Rock Snake, kids can paint rocks added to Onyx to help him grow. Themed coloring pages like the waterfront. We had Japanese exchange program the last 2 years where it's an exchange program with Japan, and they've been wildly successful at finding people at our event. We have swimming education and performing arts represented at our events too. Lots of different crafts. We had LULAC do one of our info booths for the event, but also about who they are, and they did a fundraiser that was massively successful and themed and fun. So it's not just supposed to be a Pokemon Go festival that we just piggyback off that to really create that backbone. It's supposed to appeal to all Pokemon fans, which is, again, it's the largest franchise in the world. So we did that we partnered with CCG House, this trading card tents. They had 3 that were fully full of people playing cards. Vault 31 did a Smash Bros. Pokemon tournament. Higgins Theater did a Detective Pikachu, and we had cosplayers out there doing a trivia right before the showing. We had Dragon Theater doing live stage production. Next slide, please.
Did you wrap up the next?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. We partnered with the Downtown Association of Port of Vancouver, so lots of tie-ins with the port, advertising Terminal 1 and the waterfront. and the future marketplace. Next slide, please. Downtown association. So next year, we're saying 15,000. I think that's conservative. First year we went from 1,500 to 4,000, and the second year we went from 4,000 to 10,000 plus, and that's 150% increase year over year. So 50% increase seems pretty conservative. We want to do continued tie-ins with Main Street as Main Street Promise completes, as the marketplace on the waterfront completes. So there's an infinite opportunity for growth in the years to come.
Yep, that's it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, John. Do we have any questions? All right, Christie, thank you.
At first, I was able to witness you interacting with some of the businesses on Main Street in the planning process, and I saw the enthusiasm and excitement that you had, and also the business were. So I think that's a great event. Couple questions of Visit Vancouver. So you were able to meet with them. What would you do differently based on your findings from that meeting on how to work with them?
As you continue to grow, working with the hotels to create program packages, you have to like hit a critical mass, I think, before you can really offer that. But starting next year, we might be there. So that's probably what I would do. Yeah, continue to grow, continue to work with the hotels in that manner.
Okay. And the 15,000 you referenced, the passport was over a course of a month. Is that what you're including, the 15,000, or the 15 would end?
No, so we don't know exactly. So they have a month, starting year 3, we gave them an entire month because people were just coming in, getting a stamp and leaving and not spending a lot of time in the shop. So in this year, we started giving them an entire month so that they can spend more time in the business and actually look around. So we don't really know how much of it was that weekend versus over the entire weekend, but they're doing it because they got the passport and it's driving them to that business system.
And date structure, can you remind us again, can you set your date?
So we have to wait to be given the global Pokemon Go event. It's a global event that Pokemon Go does. It creates the backbone of our attendance. And it is always falls between the end of June and early August. And unfortunately, we don't really know until like March, April timeframe what weekend that's going to fall. So far, we've been able to successfully work off of that, but it does throw a wrinkle in the planning.
Steve.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today. With your projections of 15,000 plus for 2026 compared to the 10,000 plus for current year, is there something that you're doing with this festival that you anticipate differently, that you anticipate this bigger draw you're thinking, or what, how do you?
It's entirely word of mouth. Just no matter how much you spend on like Facebook ads and Instagram, it's building that reputation and awareness. And we show that we do have a reputation for coming back each year. I mean, we're going into our 4th year with the festival now, but we've done community events for 7, maybe 8 years now. So we do have that track record, but it's really just getting recognition out in word of mouth. It's essentially what it boils down to. And that just compounds each year as been shown. There's no slowdown to that growth in numbers. So I mean, 15,000, that's only a 50% increase versus the prior 2 years, which were 150. So I think our problem is more not growing too quickly because you want to be able to manage that growth. So I think that's a good goal for next year.
Great, thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
No, she.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just have one question. Given that it's mostly an outdoor event, has weather ever affected attendance?
So yes, actually the first 2 years, since last year was not bad, it was a great day. The first 2 years, there were record temperatures, 96 degrees weekend long, and we still had those numbers come out. That's one of the great things about Ashford Park is it has that tree coverage. So the first 2 years were impacted. I like to look for that blessing in disguise. If it had not had that record temperature, we probably would have been overwhelmed. So again, it is managing too many people coming to your event. You really, yeah, it's always something in the back of my mind is trying to manage that. So we have had record heats the first 2 years.
Do we have any questions about the funding request? No? All right, thank you, John.
try.
You share your, you get what you're sure. It's on copy.
No, I realize that, yes, and so. Okay.
Jennifer, if I don't notice you online, can you just yell at us?
Oh, yes, Jennifer.
I just realized I hadn't looked up.
I will for sure.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay. I think- I swear. before. Next up, we have. Which we have to sit.
Are we ready for our next presenter early? Or do you want to? Good?
Ready?
Maybe let's wait till Terry comes. We probably won't pass through, but you're more than welcome to come up front too. So.
Okay, this time, I have your timer.
Oh,
You'll be
give
able
me
to-
the timer. Okay.
You'll be able,
Oh, he was on time.
Oh, okay.
yeah, you'll be able to see it on.
It's not here. Or,
You can do wherever you want. You want to, well, we have to control it.
okay.
So you can sit here, you can wherever.
Stand, you can, what, as long as you can see the screen.
First time you guys live. You know, if you want to.
Yeah, usually I just do it on virtual or I have other people come in and do it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
But I'm scared.
Little tense, little tense, but
Let's wait a few minutes. He probably just went to the restroom
Yeah.
and we're ahead, so.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if it makes a noise, I can't remember, I think it does, I think it yells at you.
How's everybody doing? Pretty good.
Yes.
A lot of events to do. Huh?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're good now. Is everyone else?
Is everyone ready to go?
But we're ready.
I'll just scroll, what was that?
Then we're ready.
Okay.
All right. Aloha, everybody. My name is Kaloku Holt. On behalf of 4 Days of Aloha, a cultural celebration that's become one of the most influential tourism events in Vancouver. This festival is not just an event, but it is a gathering place of culture for family and economic growth. Today, I'm here to share the tourism impact of 4 Days of Aloha as significant, measurable, and as an investment. So the next slide, please.
Oh, the next one.
Oh, well, I guess that one works. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one there. 4 Days of Aloha is it is the largest cultural festival in the entire Pacific Northwest. It is absolutely the largest Hawaiian festival, Hawaiian gathering. Thousands of people do not just attend, they travel specifically to Vancouver to experience this event. This is not a local gathering. It is a destination event that brings visitors, families, and cultural practitioners from across the country along with them, including their tourism dollars. Next slide, please. Every single day of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have at least one musical group band that travels from out of state, from out of the country, just to perform. And just like some of our staff, our contractors, our master teachers, our cultural practitioners, they bring their spouses, their kids, and the whole tribe, the RV with them as well. And that's reflected in our numbers. And this year, we're really trying to like pinpoint our numbers as accurate as possible. This is number 4 slide. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
3, you want on 4?
Everything before. Our tourism impact is diversified across every area of participation. So the first one is our workshops. So it's a 2-day workshop at Clark College. We have 260 participants, but many of those they come for both days. 60% of them travel over 50 miles and they stay overnight and attend our workshops. And that's reflected through our surveys at our workshops. The next one is our competition groups. We had 12 competition groups come outside of the area, mostly out of state, and they perform with upwards of 20, 30 members, and they bring their families as well. And 100% of those groups came from out of state, and they all have to stay somewhere locally, hotels and our vendors. This year we had 70 vendors, and 75% of those, so it's about 50, little over 50, traveled over 50 miles from Hawaii, California, Utah, Vegas, and they all require the same thing: transportation, hotels, local services. And lastly, our general attendees, thousands of festival attendees, including locals who choose to stay and not fight the traffic, or stay with family, they fill our hotels beyond what we can record, and I'll get to how we record these in a little bit, but these numbers do not include our vendor family. So one example is like, we have vendors that come, some bring two staff or family, you know, they're all family and staff, basically. Some come with 12. And so if you times that, and reflect those numbers, about 70 vendors, that's how many people are not recorded, but they come to the festival to work, stay, enjoy the weekend. Some of them stay for the week. Next slide, please. Sure. The next complete slide, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 Days of Aloha generates extended tourism, extended stay tourism. I was mentioning before, some of them, our event is 4 days long, but you know, there's the prep and they get there before. A lot of our people come to stay the week, and myself, we stay a little bit longer. So it just depends, but we've recorded 3 to 7+ nights is amongst the average of people that come to attend for the full experience. Many of our attendees turn this into a family event or an annual trip. It's a way to reconnect with people culturally, people that move away from the islands. This is a good way to reconnect and stay current with everybody. So when it gets to the hotel side, we've clocked 280 rooms that were, 240 was that the hotel that that's from the contract, 40 from Holiday Inn, and then it just kind of trickles lower and lower from the outskirt hotels. But that's just from what we can record, because there's a cutoff date, and then, you know, like Islanders, we're always last minute on everything. So we like to book the last minute deals and things like that. So those are not reflected. And there's, you know, I always try to ask the Hilton, like, how can we get more accurate numbers of who stayed outside of our blocks? But it's almost nearly impossible to do that. But when you go through the Hilton, that's our home base. You know, majority of everybody is coming for our event. So having said that, that's kind of the sign that we can't really quantify as far as numbers. Slide 10, please, or the next one.
We are at time. So can you maybe?
I can summarize it a little bit. Would that be okay? So this event, it is, you know, my mom 20 years ago started this event, and now we're going into our 24th year next year. It's kind of crazy to even say that, but 24 years next year. And started from middle school and to where we are at Shore Park. This event has gained national recognition. There's people that come from out of country to come, and the people in Hawaii, we have sponsors from all over. We have 5 sponsors that came from out of state this year. And the last thing I'd like to say is,
We'll cut you off.
yeah, okay, that's fine.
You can respond in the questions. How about that?
Absolutely.
I'll move the slides down.
Okay.
So they can see. Also.
All right. Do we have any questions?
Make sure others have an opportunity. Hello.
Hello.
Great event.
Thank you.
Love it. Very long standing, and it definitely get a lot of travelers from outside the area. What are you doing differently? This is how many years in the making? What are you doing?
24. Yeah, so like the gentleman before, I got a chance to sit down with our virtual sit down with Cliff from Visit Vancouver, and we were throwing our ideas out. It's exciting just to talk to him. So he was able to share that they used Datafy and was able to track their cell phones of who had location services on during the weekend. It was just under 7,000 people just for the 3 days. So I guess having Visit Vancouver a little bit more involved, because they've helped us with blocking hotels and kind of getting the ones who are able or game to join our journey. But as far as hotels, that's something that I think I would like to sit down with each one just to figure out how we can make a better experience. We've had that conversation of making it, you know, bringing some aloha in the interior, not just the exterior. But I think that also goes into the culture of what we bring to Vancouver. It's not just an event. To me, it's not just an event. It raises or complements what I've seen in the last 20 years of Vancouver culture. We have the arts district. We have my guy Ricky down there that helped, you know, put all the art on the walls and things like that. And for us, it's just bringing a little spirit to this community that my mom fell in love with 20 years ago. And she passed in 2017. So for me, it's I'm lucky and I get to continue driving the bus and, getting choked up by my mom. But I got to see what my mom did in the impact wise, and it allows me to now be the driver to give kids in the community. One thing that's not, we have kids 10 and under are free. And it allows me to give something to the community that the kids might enjoy and plant aloha in those kids. Not a hotel question, but
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. My question was specific to the event itself. Are you doing something differently in your entertainment?
yeah, we are. So thank you specifically asking. We are trying to, every year we try to get the best performers possible. And we've done a great job. Next year, it's a little bit more expensive, but we're trying to nab the Green, which is, they're one of like Hawaii's top island reggae groups, if not like the top 3, 4, or 5. So big fish, it'll draw a lot more people than we have on Saturday for sure. Although our ticket sales are about 12,000 for the event, it's ticketed, so people come in with the intent to spend money. The one thing that's not reflected is a lot of those are weekend passes, so they come every day. But yeah, we're trying to raise the bar on the entertainment that we bring in and master teachers that's kind of the driving force of what we start off with the workshops. So you hit everybody with like, oh my God, I only see these people on TV. And that's kind of how we start off. We have to make sure we set the tone right from the beginning to the end.
Thank you.
Big fish, we're trying to anyway.
Jennifer did have her hand up.
Jennifer.
I did, but the previous two questions were very similar to what I was going to ask, so my question has been answered, but thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, do we have any other questions? All right, well, there you go. You answered them all and thought you needed to talk more, but you didn't. So
Yeah,
thank
well,
you for coming.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you all for your time and I appreciate you guys supporting us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. So we're running early.
Yeah, and they're out of hall. Next with the. Thank you, Lord. Festival with, applicant that you guys have a copy of. She's got,
They don't have a friend.
they don't have a presentation.
Oh, did they want to be here to talk about them?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
out- they're out there.
Yeah, they'll probably have some talking points, but just so you guys know. Okay.
Does Jennifer have the materials online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I forwarded them.
You can bring them in, or you can, technically, they're not on, so we're about 15 minutes in front.
Bring them in.
No?
Keep going?
Keep
Okay.
going. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody would appreciate you ending this meeting early.
No, Andrew wants to wait. Wonder if we can stall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Talk numbers.
Yeah.
Let's do the numbers. Change.
I know, it's kind of small, but
Yeah.
I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
No, sharing things.
You can come if you're up front. Oh, yeah.
Hello.
How you doing?
Is everyone?
have
Did comments.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have the timer going.
Yes, we're good. Yeah, I just decided to do it. Oh. Yes, you're welcome to sit with them or.
Yeah, you can sit there. You want to sit there?
No,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. She's where she wants to be.
So I know you guys did this last year, but if you can see the timers in the corners, so. And I'm just sharing, everyone has a copy of the impact statement, so in front of too. But I'm just sharing it on the screen just for sharing, but. So whenever you guys are ready to go, I can start the timer.
Well, I guess I can start. So Vancouver Arts and Music Festival there.
Before you launch, could you introduce yourselves?
I'm Igor Sharpman, the CEO of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra.
It's Stacy Donovan, Cultural Services Manager for the City of Vancouver.
Thank you. All right.
So the festival is a result of a partnership between the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra and the City of Vancouver. It's a unique partnership, one of a kind, and it was created to showcase the amazing arts and music that we have in this area, to put arts front and forward, and to feature diverse local and international performers and artists. It's a uniqueness of this festival that it's free and completely open to the public. This is the only festival of this caliber in this area, one of the few in the country that is free and open to the public. It started in 2023. Already had 3 years of the festival. In these 3 years, it won 2 major awards. First year, inaugural, 23, we had over 30,000 people attended. Second festival, it was over 40,000, and last year, over 50,000 people attended, and it featured some of the most incredible artists in the world, like Renee Fleming, Mark O'Connor, and others. And for the first time last year, educational component, we created Vancouver Youth Orchestra, which performed with a great success. So last thing I'll mention, it was featured in a BBC magazine and got international acclaim, like a Gramophone magazine in the UK and Musical America and others.
Thanks. It's, it's really important to Igor and I and everyone else that helps work on this, that we bring together the community with the city and the symphony. So it isn't just the city and the symphony deciding what this festival needs to be. And there's a lot of community involvement. We have, we make sure that all of the artists and performers that are on stages are paid for what they do. And we include them in the planning of the festival. We want to showcase the incredible talent that we have right here in Vancouver and provide the artists and performers an opportunity to be in front of the residents that might not have normally had an opportunity to see their work. Lower the barriers to art, to access to art by inviting the community into a free event. Have an educational opportunity, get your hands on some pottery, talk to an artist to see how they got engaged. Watch your kids perform on one of the 3 community stages. So we have performances happening all day long. We worked closely with the Downtown Association this year to do an after hours festival at the Brick House and at Lewitt, where we paid artists who weren't able to be selected to be on the community stages in the park, perform in those 2 venues. And we plan on continuing that for 2026 and bring in really any venue that would like to participate in the downtown area to host after hours performances. It's a great way to bring in the local businesses. We try to be really inclusive of the local galleries. Sharon Speck, who curates several of the galleries, curates the art exhibit that takes place in the Hilton. The Hilton's been an amazing partner in this. So it's really been important to us to lift up the incredible talent we have here, showcase Vancouver as the cultural center, the cultural hub that it is and is really growing into. This year we had 50,000 people. I worked with Visit Vancouver to determine what that meant, and that comes into a little over $1.6 million in an economic impact. Our idea is to continue to grow this in very thoughtful ways. One of the things we'd like to do is, once Main Street is open, be really inclusive of the local businesses on Main Street to see how they might be able to participate in the festival. This festival needs to be driven by the community, showcasing the community, and we're helping to be that structure that makes that happen. We're about out of time, so yeah. Do we have any questions?
A great event. Thank you for being here. How are you going to, or can you even top Renee for next year?
Well, we are trying, we will. The answer, we will. Renee Fleming is one of the handful household names, but there are others, and really it's all about the community. It's all about what we offer to the community. And if it's gonna be Renee Fleming, it's great. If it's gonna be Yo-Yo Ma, maybe, or Joshua Bell, or somebody else, it's great. But at the end of the day, this is really what we're providing a space for the community for free to come and experience what this spectacular city can offer. And so it's about togetherness, and we are.
Well, I think what an opportunity to be able to come and watch youth performing on a community stage, grab something to eat, and then sit down at 6 o'clock and watch someone like Renee Fleming perform on the main stage. Just that having the whole range of talent and is an opportunity that I think is very difficult to find in this metro area, which is part of why we've won a couple of awards. One was the Washington Recreation and Parks Association, best event in the state, and then the Washington Festival and Events Association just awarded us best event in Southwest Washington. And, we really expanded our media campaign all the way up to Seattle and down to Eugene, and we worked with Visit Vancouver on that. And because we want people to recognize what we have here and the opportunities we have here. So I don't know that we top Renee, but I think there's a lot we can keep adding. Sure, great.
Sure. But by the way, she had a fantastic time, and she wants to come back.
Oh, good. That was the largest crowd I've seen at a concert in the park in my 14 years at the city. Yeah.
Sure. Emma, you can go first.
Okay, Steve.
Thanks. Thank you both for being here. Question for you, and forgive me, I have not attended your wonderful event, but the 50,000 people that you have noted over the 4 days, right? Is there, with the venue that you're at, are you at max capacity with the for each day over the 4 days? Is there an opportunity at all for this to grow, or?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see the growth happening, we see the growth happening is expanding. Esther Shore does have capacity. We would like to, like I said, thoughtfully grow. So when we're ready for that expansion, potentially on Main Street or 7th Street in front of Dandelion Tea, the first year we had something there. But what we're learning is, we had to really establish ourselves before we could just start expanding in the other parts of the city. And now I feel like we're there, we're establishing ourselves. This, in 2026, it will stay the main hub in Esther Short Park. And again, here behind City Hall and in the alleyway. But after that, I do see expansion happening towards the main street and being very inclusive of the businesses. It's important that they feel a part of this and not excluded from it. It's, that's a key piece for us.
Thank you.
And also, even if there's a current configuration, we on Saturday last year, we had about 9,000 people at the evening concert, but on Friday and Sunday, it was about 6,000. So we can add more people on Friday and Sunday. And we, this year, are going to expand our marketing significantly.
And the after hours venues, that's another way that we can expand that doesn't impact the capacity in the park. So we're hoping that, the VDA gave us $2,000 to host bands. We're hoping to continue with that. So that's another great way to showcase the talent that we have.
Awesome. Thank you.
Christy.
Can you remind us the grant structure that you've received and where you're at in that cycle?
So the grant, I think you are referring to Murdoch. The grant was a 3-year grant, 200,000 each year. And the last year was the last installment of the grant. But the idea was, just like with many grants, that it's going to become part of the budget. It's gonna, after 3 years, it's going to pay for from the budget. And in our case, because of this colossal success, we were able to attract new donor, individual and corporate, and we are confident that as a part of our budget is going to be successful. And but the help of the community like this and others is essential because it's a community event.
I just have one question if we have time. Do anybody else have a question? Anyone else? Okay, so just the one part about the event that I wasn't clear about is kind of that VIP area and section. Is that, how does that funding help with the event?
So right now it's just like, because yes, the event is for free and we're nonprofit and we have a fundraising structure. And as part of our fundraising, we have different societies of for example, people who donate on a certain level, they have the special access. So this particular thing is for the donors, the VSO existing donors and guests who are on certain higher level. And if you look at the other festival, that is exactly what they do. The blues festival, any festivals. Does this answer your question?
So it's really just set up as a perk of those that are donating to the event versus another way of perhaps generating revenue for the event.
So one of the ways to entice the major donors to contribute to the event, because event is expensive. It's free for everybody else, but it's over 600,000. So we're working overtime to raise money to keep this event for free.
I've attended your event every year, and my observation was that the VIP area was kind of empty, except for maybe one of the, like, when it's the big event, you know, like when Renee was there, it was full, but it seemed kind of empty. And I know my observation was that it seemed like a missed opportunity there for perhaps better use of the site.
Yeah, we've discussed having like a beer and wine garden with potentially an area for reserved table that you could pay for. Part of it comes down to staff capacity to manage it, to be honest with you, and not taking up too much space in the park that really is meant for our performances and for people. But so the VIP, that area is currently just used in the evenings for the symphony.
And what is Erica, what are the attendance for the VIP on Thursday, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Do you have those numbers?
Overall, we had approximately 325 people over the 3 days.
Yeah, so it's 325 people. And what are the capacity?
Max is about 125, the way we had it configured this year.
Yeah.
And we certainly were at that on Saturday, slightly under Friday.
Yeah. But it's certainly every aspect of it can be improved of the festival. There's no question. You know, it's only been 3 years, so we're growing, and any feedback is really appreciated and welcome.
I'm not an event organizer, so I can only share observations and ask questions. So thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But if you're just gonna keep us ahead, if that's okay, no, you tell me otherwise. Great, thank you. That's appreciated, yeah. Great day.
Sure, I don't block you.
Okay. What is that?
You just.
That was very selfish.
Make yourself.
You know, let me just spread out, take it all pretty strict on the 5 minutes, and then to make sure there's time for question and answer. And you'll see a little timer.
Timer, okay.
And then you just let us know when we switch slides. So, okay. Carol. And do introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Carol Ross. I'm with the Historic Trust, and I'm so grateful to have the chance to talk to you today. Thank you for having me.
we're ready to, yeah, ready to go? Go ahead. Yes. And if you want to go ahead there, then perfect. So our grant application was about helping boost heritage tourism here in Vancouver, of which we have a lot. And I'm so fortunate to be part of the trust, which oversees a good chunk of it. That includes our Marshall House tours that we offer year-round, 3 days a week, and Providence Academy tours, again, 3 days a week, year-round. We have a few quotes there from visitors who put up reviews. The last quote is from somebody from Scotland who visited this last July. These tours that we offer of the Marshall House and of Providence Academy are at no cost, so guests can tour for free. And again, Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 2 are the current hours. We'd like to see an expansion of that. Ready for the next slide. One of the ways to expand is by creating more demand. And so this proposal is to do some marketing, a little more marketing and outreach to promote these tours. Our primary focus is on the leisure traveler. That's international inbound, and we know they spend more if they stay longer, and they spend more in general when they come. As well as domestic tourists, and with an emphasis on the drive market, kind of the I-5 corridor. Washington and Oregon specifically. We want to reach folks while they're in the planning stage, as well as once they're here on the ground. I feel like our tours are more conducive to, we have an afternoon free, what do we do with it? Kind of situation, rather than somebody thinking that somebody would plan their entire trip around visiting the Marshall House or Providence Academy. So just being realistic in that, but making sure that once they're in market, they're made aware of the offering and that it's free and that they can come visit. Ready for the next slide. And how we would do this, one way is to educate the folks who are interacting with visitors on a daily basis, frontline employees who work in the hospitality industry. There's an organization called Pacific Northwest Experience. They do this for the region. We are hosting them at Providence Academy this summer in June for their June meeting. And we're doing this in partnership with Visit Vancouver. The rest of, other than that, these people are giving advice to visitors on a daily basis. So that's why we want them to know about what's here. The rest is more awareness building through more traditional marketing, digital collateral materials, getting materials in brochure racks and things like that. And then doing some advertising through Visit Vancouver's publications and online opportunities, and the state of Washington Tourism's similar ones. Ready for the next slide. So why would you want to support us? Because we already have this product. It already exists. All we would have to do is expand it once the demand is there, and we have the capacity to do that. We're not creating anything new. So it's there and ready to go. One of the things that's great about this as well is we're constantly collecting zip code data from the folks who are coming through. So far in 2026, we've had 44 states, visitors from 44 states and 9 countries. Our data is tracking similar to previous years. 45%, over 45% of people visiting the Marshall House are from more than 50 miles away. 16% visitors to Providence Academy are from more than 50 miles away. And I'd like to see that number specifically go up, especially with the completion of our landscaping project that's just about done. And we are good stewards of grant funds. We've received grant funding from this group in previous years. That was before my time specifically, but we have been great stewards of those funds. And last slide, please. And more about why us and why now. These are the vendors we will be using are either Vancouver-based or Washington-based, keeping that funding local. Wanting to shine a light on what's historic, and it's right next door to what's shiny and new, our waterfront and downtown. It's within walking distance for many people.
And just bringing more people and keeping more people in downtown brings more vibrancy to downtown. We want to see more of that and just show off the historic places that we're proud of. And it looks like that's my time. If I could say one last thing, it would be just we want to continue adaptively reusing Providence Academy and all of our historic properties to keep them part of a community resource for us here. So thank you. That went by really fast. Can I answer any questions?
Christy. You referenced that your current hours are Wednesday through Friday.
Yes.
And so with this grant, would you then expand on the weekend?
We have been doing one Friday night and one Saturday night a month, or one Saturday day per month. And we would like to see an expansion of that, yes.
You referenced that you're focusing on leisure travel. And so have you worked with Visit Vancouver on the days of the week to show the demand that we have in influx of leisure?
I not specifically like that, but I have been working with Visit Vancouver to help promote the tours, specifically Providence Academy in the last year. So, yes. And we are partnering on that frontline employee event because they see the value in that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. I think it's a great amenity that we often get requests, but we do get those requests mostly on the weekends.
Right. Right.
Hi, so sorry. Is that all right with you? Okay. Part of the reason you don't do things on the weekends is because you're leasing the space for events.
In some cases, yes. So both locations do have the opportunity for event rentals. Saturdays are a popular day to have weddings too. So we would have to work around that. Yes.
That was my thought, because I've been to a wedding at Providence County, actually two of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
I just have a question about the coordination between the tours that are happening throughout the rest of like the Fort Vancouver site, where they have, different kind of themed tours, like right now with haunted tours and things like that. Do you guys also, I'm not aware of kind of changing the themes of your tours.
So the tours we've been offering lately are specific to our spaces. In May for Preservation Month, we hosted a special tour. It wasn't free, but it was of secret spaces. So it was parts of the Marshall House, the Grant House, and the Oho Howard House that people don't normally get to see that aren't open to the public. And that's an offering we plan to do again in May. And then just this past weekend and also in May, we did a secret.
How popular was that? Because I saw the advertisement.
Oh, yeah, it sold out. So, and we were able to accommodate just over 100 people for that one. It's a 3-hour tour, so it's pretty, pretty lengthy. And then the post hospital, which everybody seems to be curious about because nobody has been in there in like 30 years. That we offered for Preservation Month, as well as just this past weekend. The second offering this past weekend, the 150 tickets we had available sold out in 45 minutes.
Wow.
Which was faster than even I expected. I figured it went on sale on a Friday. I figured it'll be gone by the weekend or through the weekend, 45 minutes. So we will offer that again in May, and we're actually going to expand the hours so that we can fit an extra tour in.
Would either of those tours or something similar to that be available for like corporate groups coming to town for special? Is that something you guys might think about?
That's a interesting thought, and I think we would consider that. In the format it's in right now, that's meant for the public, requires a pretty large lift from a volunteer's perspective. It takes 23 people staffing it, but for a private group, that might be something we could pull off with enough lead time and a smaller volunteer commitment.
Any other notes or questions? Sorry, I was taking notes. All right. Well, thank you so much.
So thank you again for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Go check. We have a little break time if you restroom opportunity, eat your food.
Yeah. The next.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris, Barry, real quick, John, when he gave his presentation, he mentioned a partnership with the Port of Vancouver. And just wanted to clarify, we have our own community grant program, and the Go Fest applied for a grant in 2025. They were awarded a grant that was spent for their festival this past summer. We don't have an existing partnership with Go Fest. We've also done grants for Cape Cooey, the Vancouver Bee Project, and the Historic Trust as well. Similar sort of thing. So we haven't opened our grants for 2026. So right now there is no shared partnership on any of these. And sorry, I'm Chairman, I should have addressed you, not Chris, but I just wanted to clarify that for the record as we're disclosing our conflicts of interests. I didn't see that as a conflict of interest. I wasn't expecting Go Fest either to say that they're partners with Port of Vancouver, which they received a grant, but there's not an active partnership in Go Fest. So wanted to make sure that that was stated for the record.
Questions or?
Any concerns or, okay, all right,
Okay, so no questions, no concerns are being raised. All right.
great, thank you.
So our next person is here. Or should we just take a break? Can we say
Yeah, we
5-minute break or?
Yeah, because they've been asked to arrive 15 minutes before their slot, and so they got a few minutes.
They're not here yet, so I think we do have break time. Sorry. Just because.
I'm gonna put food in.
So
Did everybody get,
Throw your name tag.
I know, exactly.
did everybody get lunch?
I just, yeah, I was a little, we partner with the Port of
Yes.
Vancouver.
I'm gonna put your board charge so they don't have me, I'm not here. Yeah, sit up.
Dangerous. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
No, that's true. That was noted for the record. So when someone says they've got a partnership, I'm sitting right there. We're going to clarify, so.
Yeah. There's so much community involvement with everyone in this room and not, it's just, I think, sorting through that. And the way you explained it, seeing, we have legal over here, so if there's a red flag,
Yeah,
not only
happy to not, all of this in the final vote if there is anything, but, yeah.
I mean, if you're not actively,
Andy.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, great.
You would ALS?
No, we are the one after, but we'll.
One after, okay. So you have one in front, they're not here yet, so. We're taking a little break at the moment, between, so. Want me to dance then?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Man, 5 minutes to play. So tight.
It is. It goes by faster than.
It sure does.
But there was gonna be a timer up so that you guys keep track.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Got barbecue sauce on my name tag, sorry. With my salad.
Oh,
I tried to wipe it off, so
I can make a new one.
it's all good. I think it'll be fine.
I also realized when I made for Curtis and Sarah, I used a pretty shiny paper that I didn't know got mixed in. You can't really tell from far away, but if you look at it, it's like a shiny blue, bluish whitish, like. Very pretty.
I like being special.
You're overthinking that. Looks good.
I used it for some baby shower invitations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so somebody, one of my coworkers was like, oh, I have this like pretty paper you can use if you want it for free. And so they brought it to work and I took what I needed and then left. By the time I noticed, I was like, whatever. It's fine.
I was gonna say, as long as you can breathe in there.
Yeah. Sure.
Must have got a message across, but Lex still has a fake information on there.
Yeah. Well, I thought when I went back there, the first day, I actually just because, you know, street traffic right on the front, right? I mean, it's
Oh, yeah, yeah, so that makes sense. Well,
One of these for college next year and the other one is sophomore, so we're very knocked that, you know, once they're, you know, in the college or adults.
Yeah.
You know, they, that goes back.
I see you.
How are you? I'm good.
Yeah, it's hard.
We're good. Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Yield. Yeah. So. Great.
Hard to, I mean, there's only so many days to do the match, right?
And you can't. Like that out. Which they are going to have us with pay. You want us to look at the board.
Nope. Too bad. I don't have a problem that they pick the Vancouver location.
Exactly.
Who knows what it is now? That's what it was.
Although I really.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. So that's their moment. So yeah, they were. I saw those.
Like, what?
I think I gotta try this.
Very good.
I would be perfect. You're gone.
Sure.
I know, me too. I know. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Usually I got to hang out with Dunkelberger and Bart.
Yeah, I saw Mark post something on Facebook, so yeah, that was great. So
They did a Crimson Company alumni thing at the alumni center,
nice.
and then Mark and James were over there, so.
Go to the Toledo game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, good game.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to Oregon State.
Oh, good. Yeah. I think we've covered the spreads by 22.5 points every week for the last 4 weeks. So you'd think that the odds makers would catch on at some point in time.
Oregon State has some motivation to be.
I know, it scares
We'll
me.
see what happens.
It scares me.
Yeah.
I think we should go ahead with the folks that are here, because we have 15 minutes.
You do that. Would you like to bet?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Would you like to go now?
Be okay with that?
I know. How about that for the?
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just kind of hang out there. Or I'll watch, I'll walk around. Yeah. You mind coming early? Let's do it. Yeah. You're here, let's go.
Alrighty. There was the top of it. 15, 17, when I was before.
You could sit or stand or wait.
I'll stand, She's gonna just be available.
Or
for
dance.
Stand, I could do that.
So then the timer up here,
Okay.
up there too, so.
Okay, and who am I looking to for slide? Okay.
Yeah, just
Oh,
like.
for
Okay,
slide.
okay. Okay, next slide.
Because there's too many slides, so it's gonna be rapid fire.
Yep. All right.
All right, well, thanks, guys. I'm Becky Moore, and we are here today. You can go right to the next slide. Yep. Here to talk about Columbia Dances, the Nutcracker. Next slide. Nutcracker is an annual tradition the world over, enjoyed by audiences of all ages. Ours is no different. It's Tchaikovsky's music, lavish sets and costumes, magic and mystery, but ours is unique in that it uses the history of Fort Vancouver in the 1840s in the plot. You can go to the next slide. We worked with the curators at Fort Vancouver to create a cast of characters and a plot You see there our magic man, Dr. John McLaughlin. He's giving an apple to Agnes Douglas, a little nod and wink to our famous local apple tree. Next slide. Most nutcrackers have mice and soldiers in their battle scene, but people were here in the 1840s because of the beaver trade. So we have beavers and fur trappers in our battle scene. Next slide. They go through an epic battle. We'll go even one more slide because they are trying to steal Dr. McLaughlin's beaver top hat. Next slide. Most nutcrackers have a snow scene. Ours does as well, but instead of the traditional snow king and queen, we have a moon woman who calls out a moon to glisten on the snow. This is inspired by Ilchi, a Chinookan woman who was known as she who paddles her own canoe, or the moon woman. Next slide. We continue to highlight our local culture and history. Mount Hood is our backdrop, which I know is in Oregon, but we all look at it from over here. Next slide. We have a scene with the Castaways, which is about 3 Japanese sailors who were shipwrecked and ended up in Vancouver in the mid-1800s. We have dancing Wapato plants, a local plant that is used in Indigenous cooking. Next slide. We have Scottish clerks taking care of the Hudson's Bay Company. And then we have kids coming over the Oregon Trail in a covered wagon. Next slide. All right, so that's what it is in a nutshell, but why should this lodging tax support our event? Slide. Well, we hit all of your priorities. We are outside of your peak season, being in December. We are outside of downtown, being in Salmon Creek. We collaborate with small businesses on our Nutcracker Boutique, and we absolutely celebrate diverse and underserved communities. We partner with local nonprofits to give over 500 tickets to families in need. We have a sensory-friendly performance for our neurodivergent community members. And we partner with Vancouver Public Schools. We bring 1,500 kids to the Nutcracker, an entire grade level. In fact, we pay for the transportation to make sure that every kid can come. And our plot highlights cultural diversity. Our production is super sustainable. The costumes and sets were designed to last 20 to 30 years. And your grant has inspired us to look at more ways to support climate action. Next slide. How do we serve Vancouver's strategic plan? Next slide. Well, in a lot of ways, but the one I'll focus on is innovation. We collaborated with Fort Vancouver National Historic Site, with Chinook Nation, Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, to really make a one-of-a-kind production. The sets, costumes, plot, choreography, you can't find it anywhere else. And it contributes to the livable and equitable parts of Vancouver. Next slide. Our production is for all these people. Ballet is not a spoken performance, it's body language, so it works for all language speakers. Our ticket donation program brings those in poverty into our audience. Our production is absolutely designed for kids, absolutely LGBTQ friendly, and our sensory friendly performance makes it accessible for those with disabilities. Next slide. How do we serve Visit Vancouver's master plan? Next slide. A lot of ways, but mainly I feel like this bullet was written for us in our initiatives. Identify opportunities for broader storytelling collaborations of Vancouver's outdoor recreation assets and opportunities. Our production is a storytelling of Fort Vancouver National Historic Site, and really a love letter to Vancouver. It also says arts, culture, history, and heritage need to be amplified. We are putting those center stage in front of an audience of over 4,000 people annually. Next slide. This is the lodging tax grant. We love to bring people in from out of town. Our metrics show that we do that. We have a cast of 100 that performs, and their family and friends travel from far and wide. We want to increase our marketing to be more strategic about bringing people in from a larger geographic area. Next slide. The last thing I wanted to talk about is, you may have noticed in the budget, we do make a little money off this event. So you might wonder, why do we need your support? We make money basically because we use volunteer labor. We have 290 shifts that are filling up rapidly as we speak. And that allows us to make a little profit, and we need that revenue strand for our year-round activities and programs we provide. So we provide financial aid, classes, dance classes for kids with disabilities, enrichment at a Title I school, and basically a chance for 200 kids to learn life skills through dance. And there we go. And the last one says thank you.
Oh, very good.
So that's a little bit about it.
We have a question from Jennifer.
We do. First of all, it's really more of a comment. What a great presentation. very articulate and very to the point and answered all the questions we asked. So I just want to say, way to go. It was my favorite so far today.
Thank you. I had fun reading through all the plans of the city and it was kind of cool.
Steve has a question.
Thank you very much for being here and for the presentation. You mentioned in the presentation that the idea is to have a strategic plan for your marketing to try to bring in visitors from outside of our area. So
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit more about or expand on what that is?
Megan is a board member of ours and she does our marketing as a volunteer. So she's going to talk about that.
Yeah, so our goal is to get people to come here. We have a strong force of volunteers. As Becky said, we have 290 Nutcracker shifts. She sent out an email last week and within 24 hours, 173 were filled. So we've got a lot of support. We just need funds to be able to pour into promotional information, to kind of reach out to Olympia, Hood River, Longview, Salem, to see if people can get involved and come here. We think that once they come here and see the story and shop and dine and stay, that they will just fall in love. I mean, I think our story focuses a lot on the historical features of Vancouver, the culture, and this group.
We accidentally have people that come from far away. We actually put our tickets on sale last week because we were getting so many phone calls and one woman called from California. And so we were like, oh, who do you know in the production? She's like, nobody, we just come up every year for it. You know, but that's been accidental and we want it to be strategic. So she's looking at partnering with influencers through social media in other places to, you know, do interviews and podcasts and things like that. Basically, instead of just marketing locally, expand upon that. We have a very big social media following. So, and like I said, we have 100 families to spread that to their communities that are farther afield.
Thank you.
Right.
How long have you been doing Clark County or Vancouver, Fort Vancouver themed Nutcracker?
This is our 4th year. So, and our audiences have grown each year that we've done it. So, yeah.
That's great.
Mhm. It was a City of Vancouver grant that actually got us started.
Christy.
Have you partnered or is there options that you've reviewed with the Historic Trust or the fort to kind of lean into your marketing efforts to those customers that they have?
We do. The fort usually shares most of our stuff. We did that main image. We did a photo shoot at the fort this summer to get some of our marketing images. But I think it's something we can lean into much more.
It's mostly just a comment. First of all, love it. And I think we need more of this in Southwest Washington. We were approached last year by Oregon Ballet Theater and they were wanting to target more of Southwest Washington for their Nutcracker. We sent something out and it was their highest redeemed ever partnership. But that tells me there were so many people in Southwest Washington who want this kind of thing. So I think just even the marketing efforts locally, I think there's a huge demand. I would never have realized that that much willing to go down.
Yeah, I'm huge friends with everyone over at Oregon Ballet Theater. It's a small network in dance. And it was actually interesting. The first year we started our production when we were just coming out of COVID, our protocols here, we were having masking by the audience, but we weren't requiring vaccination proof. And we actually had a lot of people who had historically gone to Oregon Ballet Theater's Nutcracker come because it was before they had the children's COVID vaccine. And they were like, I can't take my kid to OBT because I can't say she's vaccinated, but she can come to yours in a mask. And we had a lot of them say that they prefer to come to ours because it's just a little more unique. OBT does George Balanchine's Nutcracker, which is beautiful, but you can see it in a number of cities across the nation.
Yeah, I think it's great. Do we have any other questions? Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are they here?
We ready yet? Third.
Oh, sure.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
You're right on time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sit, stand, wherever you would like to.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Okay.
The,
I kind of like this little poke.
yeah,
We have to switch it though, just so you know.
Okay. Okay, so you want to get started?
yeah, whenever you're ready.
So my name's Amy, and I'm the director at ALS Northwest, and we've submitted a proposal for our Southwest Washington Walk. We've been hosting this walk for over 15 plus years. A little bit about ALS. Anyone can get this disease. There's no known cause. We have roughly 40 people currently living with ALS in the city of Vancouver. That number ranges based on mortality as low as 35, as high as 50. It is a terminal disease, and it takes away your ability to move, speak, and eventually breathe. Go ahead. So our organization focuses on providing support for people living with ALS. That's beyond the city of Vancouver. That's the lower 6 counties of Southwest Washington, as well as the state of Oregon. We support over 600 people every year. So why does the Southwest Washington Walk apply to what you guys are looking for? Well, we're certainly engaging locals. The data that we pulled are only for City of Vancouver constituents, as well as the budget numbers. And we're working with a vulnerable population of disabled people. The walk itself occurs at Esther Short Park. And through the years of conducting outreach and working with this community, we have about 3,000 friends in the city of Vancouver. That's what our mailing list is. And last year, we had 25 teams support the walk event. And it just makes sense for us to use local vendors. It's easier, it's more cost effective, and we want to build our relationships here too. So that's certainly a priority for the event. So the walk itself is funding our support programs. That includes a free medical equipment closet that Vancouver residents have access to. You can get high ticket items like power chairs or something as small as a shower chair that's often not covered by insurance. It's also covering the cost of our facilitation of support group meetings at St. Luke's. We host those every month. So there's some direct services that we're giving to Vancouver residents that the walk is for. The walk itself is a free community event. The teams themselves are motivated to do peer-to-peer fundraising. So we love celebrating Vancouver when we're here and reminding the community that we're here in their home. Esther Short's a great center space. We've often brought groups over to the farmers market afterwards and just really made a day of it. This is sometimes the only walk that these people may be a part of, depending on their progression with the disease. So it's a really special day. It's the one chance that they get to involve their friends and family in trying to make a difference for this disease. So really showcasing what Vancouver has to offer for those family members and friends is part of the goal of the day. So specifically, we're looking at the permits. The park permits were pretty expensive. They were about $4,000 this year. So we're hoping that some of the resources can support the permit costs for the park. All the other expenses are being provided by our donors. You guys have any questions?
You still have a minute to present or you're okay.
I mean, that's the end. I'd be happy to talk to you more about, we host 6 walks. They're intended to be very place-based. That's why we do these regional small events. We very much want to represent local communities. We have one in Medford, in Bend, in Salem, and of course one in Portland. And it's beyond just raising revenue for the cause. It's also about bringing families together for one special day. This is the excuse that they need to come visit. This is the chance that people can really rally and feel motivated. You can feel really helpless and isolated with ALS. So this is a chance for them to really feel supported and loved and feel like they're contributing to something bigger than themselves.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
Steve.
I'll hold my question is actually for the group, so not for. Sorry.
I have a question about, have you guys had any thoughts about kind of strengthening your kind of economic impacts around downtown or other businesses during the event? Because that's one part of your application I didn't really see developed.
Yeah, the goal is to support people living with ALS. So the intentionality behind the event is come to the walk and then the day is yours. We're there to support you with equipment and what have you, but it's sort of choose your own adventure once you're there. We've talked about creating more structured activities, or let's go, as an example, to the farmer's market together, or should we visit where we're hosting support groups, sort of like a community tour. But ultimately, we decided that people just want to have freedom with their family and visitors. So other than hiring local vendors, doing more structured activities beyond the walk itself is kind of like, we've decided just the walk, and then just let them try to enjoy their people that day. So we're looking at, for all of the actual expenses of the walk beyond personnel expenses, we for sure will hire local vendors. We have the face painter, we've hired musicians when we have money for it. We've hired different catering companies that'll be here local, the septic's local. So there's not a lot of expenses related to the event beyond those, but those are all certainly local contracts.
It seems like there could be an opportunity maybe for proposing other activities outside or other incentives for them to go. If a particular restaurant is very easy and accessible for folks in wheelchairs or something like that, to be able to point that out, because as a council member, we've had a few community members come to us and tell us kind of their experience navigating certain places, in a wheelchair, and asking for the city to kind of strengthen that wayfinding for them. So, we'd see that maybe as an opportunity for boosting the economic impact of this event, but also helping us as a city identify, perhaps those locations or a route that.
Oh, yeah. We have a vetted hotel list and restaurant list for our people living with ALS. So that's a great idea. We should be sharing that more actively at the walk. We're oftentimes communicating with people individually or through support groups with those resources. But yeah, you could easily be passing that out that day. Like, here are the really safe spaces you could be going to that afternoon. That's a great idea. I'll bring it back to the event director.
Do you have any other questions or comments?
Well, if you know someone or have been touched by ALS, I hope to see you there this next year.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck in your process.
The
next presenter is joining virtually. So
So we probably have some time.
they could be logging on at 2. So probably got like 5 minutes.
Sorry, do you mind if I ask do LTAC funds be used for permits?
I thought so.
An operating.
It's an operating cost.
Technically.
Yeah.
Optics are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of like a waiving of fees, but it's not. Yeah. We had several grant folks say those sorts of things to us, like if you cover permit fees, then this event, will be more successful, or more money goes out to the organizations we're raising funds for.
Yes.
their estimated fees for next year from the Parks Department is a little over 2,600.
And if you go into PDF presenter mode, can you click through without having to scroll easier?
Yeah, but I'm wondering if I do that, the timer might just disappear because I have to have 2 windows open. I know, that's what I was trying to do initially, but even if I just share my screen, it's not letting me do like full page mode or anything without. I know the board.
Just the predictions.
I'm wondering if, I think we talked about last year, like having one just in the room. I could also use my phone, but I want them to be able to see.
Yeah.
As like
Is
cues.
that how that-
And we have, do you guys have one? Because we have one that I could always just bring. if
I
you
don't,
want it.
but I mean, using our. Oh, you mean
The
like
one that stands, so that you
sensor
could
stands?
just, you could just click it and it just restarts it. And then, I mean, makes it easier.
Do you want to bring that to the November
Yeah.
7th meeting?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. It has like a stand.
It's in a toy
time
store.
that you-
There we go.
Because
We'll
I
borrow
think-
it.
Yeah, because I want to do full screen, but I mean, can't without losing.
Andrew, just, do you want to share what you were just,
Yeah, it's a technicality, but Skyview High School, where the ballet is looking at being hosted, that's technically in Clark County jurisdiction rather than the city of Vancouver, so it would be an event outside of Vancouver city limits.
they have a Vancouver address, but they're not within the city boundaries.
They received funding last year, though, right?
The ballet.
The ballet.
Rights to the funds.
So they were on.
They may have, was it for the same event?
And the Vancouver Ballet Folklore Wilderness, or are you talking about Columbia Dance?
The Columbia Dance.
Oh, they didn't do fun last
year.
Well, we finished something about, and I was trying to find things. I don't think we've had
The-
Columbia Dance.
Yeah, that's
Right. Yes, that's the best. We've now just randomly been always
the next one.
much smaller scale. Yeah, but you just have, oh,
Yeah.
yes, right?
Yep.
I don't think they've never applied, but I can't believe this is happening. The spill. They're in indie rock, little things. Yeah. And Boise.
So we don't have anyone until 2:30.
Yeah. No. they-
2:15.
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
It's like come together perfect. She should be logging on and like.
We asked them to come 15 minutes. We're, because we started early, we're like basically 15 minutes ahead. So, but we asked everyone to come 15 minutes early, so this one is virtual. So if they log on, we can go whenever they do.
Next couple are, right?
Oh, yeah, the next two are. And then for those, we did have one cancel.
I was just gonna ask, there's no Pacific Northwest Golf Association.
You could.
He signed up and then had a conflict and none of the dates worked. And so we've offered, and we could talk about that now.
They didn't pull their app though.
No. They
I
just,
guess,
these are optional presentations.
Yeah.
Everyone always signs up, but, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But I guess one of the things that we could talk about is, do you have specific questions for the golf association? We could log them, send and get answers to those shared, if that's something we can do now while we're waiting. If you want to do that, want to do that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
All right.
Sorry.
Sorry, did me die. Feel like a teacher in a classroom there. While we're waiting, as you mentioned this to some of you who were here, and then I think others trickled in, the Northwest Golf Association signed up, and then we just heard last minute they had to cancel. They work related, but none of the dates for our presentations work. So we haven't promised anything back, but if you do have specific questions regarding that application, we can log them now and then share those with the applicant, have them respond to the questions if you have any, and then share back out if that's a way of engaging them while they're not able to present. We did say, do you have any materials you'd like to share? And they don't. So. Yep.
Could we have an opportunity to revisit their application and then get back to you the next session with any potential questions?
You can do that. Yeah.
I know with that one in particular, though, the thing that stood out for me was that the only reason they wanted our funding was to pay for lunches. And I wasn't super comfortable with the idea that the whole event, seemed to be fine going forward. And I don't know, just paying for a lunch didn't seem like
a good use of lodging tax funds. That was kind of how that hit me. I don't know if that's really a form of a question back to the applicant.
Yeah, it's tricky because event operations. So it is an eligible expense, but in fact, we can only cover marketing and event operations and grants. That's an RCW kind of specific language. So we do get applications like this where it feels like, oh man, I wish we were using it to hire a big performer or, to attract more, but you do see a lot of the things we approve are t-shirts, lunches, food. Andrew, I'm looking at marketing, obviously, they pay for, specialized marketing consultants and collateral and purchasing ads and stuff like that. We do see a lot of that.
And there have been times that we've provided feedback to applicants of either it was an ineligible expense that they were asking for, or we wanted to cover a different portion of the operating, and then that would free up funds other places in their budget to cover the expense that we may not want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because my other job is as a state employee, and they are really strict about food. Can't host lunches or anything like that from the state side of things. And so it's interesting that you'd say that food would be, or lunches or meals would be something that the RCW does allow in this case.
Like catering.
Yeah, is it lunch for the event? Or the lunch?
In this instance, I think it was lunch for the event,
Yeah.
for the people participating. Yeah.
I think so.
100% remember.
Yeah, they said for the participants.
You never responded back to me when I emailed you that. So about materials. Yeah. And it doesn't have any, but I kind of like.
No, it just like closes the entire spreadsheet on you. When they said 106.
Yeah.
Those are attendance of
I'm sure that's more collaboration.
Yeah. Pull it off the golf for talk.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, still, to me, the 40th anniversary, so it's been around for 40 years. They're coming here to the line.
for their fun, have fun, under some that one. Under rotates. I used to try that. Rotates and that's. They'll probably watch this whole meeting and they'll be like, I can't believe she said that about our work here. Right, but it's usually pretty innocent for my sister.
I'm gonna email. March.
Just get you an email. So, yeah, November 13th. Just listen to me. Ready to. Oh, it keeps getting delayed.
Good. I don't have any emails from hers. Yeah, but. That's. Yeah.
It's so funny. Our commerce director wants us all he wants us all to feed all these high tech things. And one of his first things he demanded was that we should be able to open our cell phones without putting in a password. It never works. So I just, like, I have face recognition on it, but it never works. It just cracks me up. Like, I wonder if it works for him. Let's come along. Let's keep Steve busy. Be like his priority. And we have, coming down. Second grade, she's actually staying to do some. 15 of the agencies. Oh, nice. Yes. These are like 30 years. We're trying to get that's what just. Yeah, like, or the states.
You do still have.
Scholars. Deal for a minority.
Oh, wait.
They weren't on their roadshow list, but there was kind of like, it's okay, hurting here, and it's small business, but like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because he was
Yeah.
probably talking about some
Like,
He's gonna run it up. He's actually a director.
yeah.
He's just definitely.
We discussed that yesterday afternoon. That was gonna.
Oh,
Yes, it was a kid. Experience. Maybe going this year.
yeah,
What's that kind of thing?
I know.
Overall, really sheer twist.
It really depends on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom stuff says she's always throughout there. She's like, yeah, that helped definitely. She's kind of a technical.
This one. I've never been to a nutcracker. I don't even remember going as a kid.
Dad was working. It was a horrible experience. I was in second grade.
Oh. You remember from second grade?
I do.
I was saying, I was pretty sure,
Lasting impression.
I'm pretty sure I was in my like second grade nutcracker too, but I honestly think that's a tree. I don't even remember it. Like I just,
Auditory.
that kind of stuff's not my. I was definitely like a sports kid, not a theater kid. She's got, I guess she's technically got 7 minutes.
Dinner companions, happy.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
technically not on until 2:15.
So they did the CNN. And, they were impressed with the break way too much.
Maybe you would email
Yeah.
That's it.
I just did
and
the-
just say,
So when
you
they.
may be tracking a little ahead if you want to log on. The 15 minutes, the 15 minutes review is probably fine.
Just over,
That's the times he always. everything's-
well, I could let them know.
Whoever logs on, the goes. Good.
My go-to.
May the odds be ever in your favor. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good. And then they had the dessert and they couldn't finish it because everyone.
Tech, got Hunger Games going on over here.
Well, yeah, the salmon presentation is good.
Very creative person.
One day tomorrow, I think it's what we're talking about. all those monsters.
I thought having 2 phones was personal, 1 word was bad, having 3.
One's personal. 2 words.
I think, and then I don't think that's pretty awful. Got my 2, so I can't imagine.
It just, yeah, but I've been a public employee for so long that I have had public record requests enough to know that I don't want.
Change over. So what I
I don't want to have to hand over my personal phone.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Is open.
Wait, do you have 3 phones?
Yeah, I have 3 phones.
But
Yeah.
it's market out there. So it's for-
But it's, you know, they've asked for approvals and city councils.
People will be like,
oh, we gotta do.
Absolutely zero
Yeah.
communicating
And then
with
market out there.
anyone related to work on the restaurant.
Airport.
Because when I
Yeah.
previously worked in the state of Oregon, I guess this would have been when I was at the city of Port Falls.
And there's one of you.
We only had 1 phone. There would be public record requests for texts and thank goodness I'm not doing anything bad, but it's like, oh, okay. And we didn't have the policy back then to have a second phone. You would just link your work email and stuff to your personal.
yeah.
And so from now on, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And you want people to have a good experience the first time where they're.
Yeah.
So.
I would have brought my.
Heavy.
Set up my. Be the Didn't want to be the hang up today.
I get the location and it will be maintained, but it's.
Be department hiring.
Yeah, it's a big overhaul.
Hiring, yes, I'm hiring someone, a new job, a new position. Yeah. It's for a spatial analyst. GIS experience, but also.
Oh.
management. We got 27 applicants. Qualified, yeah, well, 23 qualified. You guys moved pretty quick. Yeah. This all was happening right before I went on vacation, so I scheduled the top 4 candidates. And then the top 2 that chose to go work somewhere else. And so now I'm the next tier, it's like, oh, this is taking forever. I still have some.
Yeah.
That phone number question was legit.
Yeah.
They, nice.
And then they get to the way and they're like, oh, they took another job. I'm like, imagine that. I know. So hard nowadays. Yeah, we can only move so fast. Yeah. And then I know. Right. Like, you know, you don't get a grant next time.
This one was even.
You think I won't work that right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, at some point, I'm like, it's gonna be insane.
But you're like.
Here's something.
Yeah.
Okay, you got
Never know what's gonna happen.
Are you guys ready?
Who is this?
This is Anna for the next one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and admit. Hi, Anna, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I'm just gonna share my screen. And I know you submitted photos.
Yes, just a couple of pictures that I took with my phone. I know there's more pictures coming from different people, so.
I'm just gonna share them. If you plan to talk about them, you can just have me move to the next one, or I can just kind of scroll through them.
Yeah,
you
you can just pass along, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then whenever you're ready to start, you just let us know. And do you see the timer on the screen as well?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ana Cruz. I'm director and founder of Vancouver Ballet Folklorico, a local nonprofit organization here in the city of Vancouver. Our mission focuses on supporting and promoting the culture of the Mexican traditions, and we offer dance instruction at no cost to our dancers. And we are also the ones that organize Luminarias Dia de Muertos at Eastern Shore Park once a year in collaboration with the City of Vancouver. The event takes place at Eastern Shore Park, a beautiful historical site here in downtown, where we put together different activities, performances, live music. We invite local vendors and organizations to showcase their businesses or their services. And it's an opportunity to gather, remember, and honor our ancestors and our beloved departed ones. What you can see in this image is a remembrance wall. And this year we had an overwhelming amount of beautiful notes of people writing to their missing, loved people that have passed, or pets, grandparents. We had notes that were written in different languages, including German and Spanish and other that I didn't recognize, but they were just amazing. So people have the opportunity to grab these little index cards and they write notes and loving notes or missing. So it's just really special that we have this opportunity. We also have a mock cemetery, and people can walk around and see grave-like settings with plants and offerings like bread, candles. There's some organizations that support us, like the regional library that bring bilingual books with topics related to Day of the Dead, face painting and other. So, it's just a beautiful event and a collaboration with the City of Vancouver, the Parks, Recreation and Cultural Services. We love the partnership. We work really well together. They're so amazing at like helping with setup ideas and everything that is needed to keep everybody included and safe and like enjoy the evening. Let's see, this time, one thing that I wanted to do was to collect zip codes from attendees, and City of Vancouver rep or staff shared that they collected zip codes from individuals that were attending the event, like visiting some relatives, but the family members decided to take them to Esther Shore Park for our event. So 3 from Germany. And then we had from other cities like Bainbridge Island, Bellingham, Paulsbo, which I don't know where that is, Bellevue. In Oregon, we have Klamath Falls, Warm Springs, Kaiser, Salem, Forest Grove, Gresham, Woodburn, St. Helens, Clackamas, Woodland Hills, California. There was a person visiting in Tampa, Florida, and Long Island. So we have those stats because we really wanted to get an idea from where people are visiting, even if it's not their focus point for their visit, but they were there. So that is very motivating for us. We had the opportunity to go to Coin News, to the AM Extra, to talk about the event. So Eric Miletic from the City of Vancouver and myself were there, and just helping to promote the event. So it's just marigolds, tissue paper. The mayor loves to be part of this event. We have a land acknowledgement and the proclamation, and it's our families all together, different cultures celebrating and spending a good time remembering our departed ones.
Thank you, Anna. Do we have any questions? Christy?
Thank you for the presentation. Thanks for being here. I think this is a beautiful event. How would you expand your marketing reach to promote additional overnight stays in hotels, and how would you partner with hotels for that?
Well, my goal would be to really have the Visit Vancouver, which I don't know who are the contact people for that, but Visit Vancouver with their magazine, or even Washington State magazine that I've seen like at the airport, just have a highlight, right? Like, oh, in October, at our iconic, beautiful historical park in the City of Vancouver, and then a picture and a description. I think that would really be helpful, but I just don't have that connection to the right people. For us, continue to advertise with the news channels and the local pages, like there's some like Vancouver Family Magazine or the Columbian, and some things are free, some things are paid. But if you have any suggestions for me, I would be happy to take any recommendations.
Absolutely, we can get you connected with Visit Vancouver. And then one other thing to consider is maybe hiring a content creator from outside of this region that has an outreach of individuals that might be interested in cultural events to help promote for future years.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any other questions? Excuse me. I just had a question on your event application. I wasn't clear what the funding was was going to go for if your grant proposal was approved? Excuse
Yeah, so when I apply for grants, because the current circumstances are limiting like federal grants to, like Washington State, just relying or, reaching out to local grant opportunities. For us, it's like really important, like the collaboration. We don't want to just receive the money. We're also doing our part because this event is about $17,000. And so we do a little bit of fundraising, or we cut on this, or families do this. Instead of us buying things already made, we buy the materials and then we make things. And so the money goes sometimes for like either the music performance, like live music, or the professional makeup for the dancers, or for more candles, or things that sometimes we plan on reusing, but then sometimes they die on us. Like this time, the last 30 minutes of our event, it rained and we lost our paper flowers and some candles that got really wet, and we couldn't get to them to remove the battery. So, but we try our best to just be thrifty, and we're really appreciative of any support that we can get.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Steve?
So if I could just piggyback on the last question here with regards to your funding, if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying it's going to like miscellaneous operational items. That's your plan for the funding? Should you get it?
Well, it goes sometimes to new dance costumes, like kids are growing or we get more dancers. And so sometimes it's for dance costumes or for performers, or it goes to so many things.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, looks like we don't have any more questions. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, and have a wonderful afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presenter she's going to join now.
We want to start early? If she joins?
Yep, I emailed her and let her know that we were running a little ahead of schedule, so that as soon as she joins, we could probably.
This is Asset Fusion.
Yes. And so you guys know it's, I think they did it in like a document format. It's kind of weird. It's like not a PowerPoint that I could switch to a PDF, so it's like long one. So anyways, just so you guys know, it's like weird. So it might be a little small. But I'm gonna email all the presentations out after, so you guys. Okay.
And the last reimbursement that we received from Ballet Folklore, the type of expenses, like she said, it was for dresses, other event operating expenses, whether it's decor or other items.
It's just a little concerning. She doesn't have a kind of pre-earmark, which isn't
Specified, right?
I mean, I get it in a way, because it sounds like they're being very creative and doing a lot themselves in terms of making, building, repairing their costume stuff. So maybe they're just going to look and see what the greatest need is at that moment, and allocate the money there.
I thought that application was one that also said that they wanted to use the money for paying the permit fees. At least that's what I thought it was.
Several of them, yeah, I didn't feel
Yeah.
like them specifically.
And it could be, because again, that's something they can't make or build or repair themselves. So that could be the case.
Yeah.
And slides, curtains for the stage, all kinds of.
Okay.
That was the last year's, 2023 was the last completed reimbursement that we've done for them. They did not have a 2024.
It's probably, when does it happen? Is it this week?
It just happened.
Just happened?
No, like last week.
Last week? Okay.
Yeah. Almost everybody was from out of town. Good, yeah. And I don't understand the event at all. This is what I'm confused about, so see how they describe it. I read it like 3 times. Those things I will say, I don't know. For like this type of thing, is it, do you guys have capacity for multiple business? Do you have the rooms and
For this asset fusion.
or things like that, like corporate, or do you just?
Yeah, we do corporate too. Yeah. But our biggest market segment is association.
Association.
State association.
Got it.
But we would have more capacity if we had more availability, right? We have to turn down corporate more often than book it because they book very short term.
And like, what short term?
The short term is within a year.
Oh,
They are,
short.
yeah, as a fusion is contracted with them.
Got it.
I don't know, Cliff's like, he's not watching because he's not on. You just, Cliff from Visit Vancouver happens to be one of the follow-up items I sent last time was to send a list of events and festivals they're supporting and sponsoring based off of our list. It's only one, and it's Acid Fusion who will be coming up. And a $1,000 sponsorship.
So Visit Vancouver gave them $1,000 to Acid Fusion.
Let's see, our analysis qualified Acid Fusion for $1,000 Visit Vancouver sponsorship based on their projections, attendance, overnight, room block, et cetera. So our offer to Acid Fusion is that they would be eligible for the Visit Vancouver sponsorship if you do not receive an LTAC grant. So they're, yeah.
The Hilton. Okay. Have you been here before?
Yes. Yeah, they run a big event for a period of time, yeah. And apparently they're purchasing land up in Ridgefield for a sporting complex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know them, yeah.
Who is this?
Acid Fusion, some other entity, the parent owner is planning to do a big sporting complex, I guess.
All right, there she. Hello. Can you hear us okay?
Hi.
Hi. I am going to share my screen. Just let me know if you can see it. You see it okay?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. I'm also gonna pull up a timer, so there's gonna be a timer in the corner of the screen. That way you can see how much time you have left and, but yeah, and then just let me know when to switch to the next slide.
Okay.
And I kind of just have to roll. I can't do it in present mode or else I lose the timer. So I have to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Is anyone else from my team on here right now?
I do not have anyone else. Just
No,
you
that's
right
okay. That's okay. They might have been confused about the time zone.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay.
But whenever you're ready to get started, you can introduce yourself and then I'll start the timer and you.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that might be someone. That might be someone.
I was gonna say, there were 2 people, so I don't know if they signed in. second.
And there they are.
Okay, perfect.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Hi, ladies.
Hello, everyone.
I am sharing the presentation on the screen and I also have a timer, just so you guys can keep track of your time. So whenever you guys are ready to get started, you can introduce yourselves and then just let me know when to move to the next slide.
Perfect. Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yeah, sounds good. Danielle, you want to
Okay.
take the lead, and I'm just here to
Yes.
answer any questions.
Yes, 100%. Let me just, hold on. I'm sitting somewhere where the sun just went in my eyes. 1 second. Yep. So sorry. 1 second. Let me get to a different spot.
You're having a different issue than we are. We do not have sun.
True. Yeah, the sun is directly in my eyes. 1 second. Let me get to a different spot. I mean, I feel like that's a mixed, yeah, that's a mixed blessing. Florida, that's never a problem. So, so, I'm Danielle, and I don't know if you guys can see me. The sun is like right in my face, and I don't have anywhere else to go right now.
You're okay. We
So-
can get started. Yeah, I think we
Um,
just want to share a little bit about what our forum event was, and we had some really good connections with the city last year, and I feel like, or this year, I feel like this is going to be a good opportunity for future partnerships. So Danielle, if you want to share a little bit just about like what Asset Fusion is, and then if you guys have questions for us. Yeah, we can go from there.
yes. So Asset Fusion Forum, this, our first event was this September. We held it at the Hilton Vancouver waterfront, as some of you know, which was our first time holding actually any event as a company on this scale. We participated as speakers and part of the organizational structure, but for Asset Fusion and VSG, which is a Vancouver-based company with arms throughout the US and some into Canada as well. This is the first time we have done something in the area that is the home base, and we're able to bring community members from, Michael, do you know the exact number right now? Off the top of my head, I feel like we had about 25 different states represented on our first year launch event, which and a couple people from Canada as well. So we had a good representation, bringing outside people into the community. Our purpose, we have kind of a trifold, actually, reach. We work in real estate. VSJ has a large real estate portfolio, but our focus is on educating people in how to use creative finance to own, to buy their own businesses and their own property. One of the things that makes us unique in that realm is Devon, Daisha, by the way, Daisha Alexander is her husband and her are the owners of our company, and the reason that we're all here. And their influence in the athletic world has given them a passion to help reach young athletes and train them in how to manage their finances, their assets, and even like mentor them in their future careers. So that's really the drive and vision behind our what our driving force is. So that being said, our reach is broad. We were happy with our launch event, even though it only, I believe we had between 250 and 300 people. But we only had 3 months to really plan and promote. We are projecting in 2026, we're anticipating at least 500 attendees. And we're planning, we're contracted with the Hilton Vancouver Waterfront. Between now and then, which that is, what is it, August 28th through 30th. Between now and then, we plan to hold a couple of community-based, like outreach type of events to further engage the community. We have a potential youth sports tournament, like some things like that we're going to do to better engage with the local community, since this time we were primarily bringing people from outside. I know you guys are going to have questions for us, so I'll save the things that seem obvious. But one of the reasons we think that we're a good asset is that we're bringing investors, entrepreneurs, and people that are trying to build business, including Michael Burt with the Greatness Factory. He's interested in placing, he was there in September, and he's ready to partner with us to launch a Greatness Factory in Vancouver. So we have a lot of growth opportunity, and that we believe extends far beyond the event. But the event being based in the Vancouver area is important to us because we're bringing that growth to you and we're able to partner. So we're excited for what the opportunities are. I'm really not following the the screen here. So I know that you guys probably slightly reviewed the reading material, and so any questions you have, if I can answer them, great. If they're technical related, Michael will probably be the one. So yeah, thank you guys for letting us share, for letting us into this opportunity, and more importantly, like we love your community, and we're excited for the potential of growth, and we think that there's a lot of alignment. So.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions? Well, Jennifer.
Hi, thank you for presenting. Have you done these events, these forums in other cities? And if so, what did the success look like in terms of numbers and overnight stays?
So we have not. This is, like I said, this is our launch event. Along with Michael, I have over 15 years experience in event management, in both like conference type events. I've managed county fairs, so we definitely see growth, and we know that usually it's the second or third year where you see that you begin to see that growth level out.
Right.
I don't think we're going to have an issue there. I don't have numbers to show you, just to bluntly answer your question. I don't have numbers to show you on this because this is the launch.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a launch just for our area or launch total, but it sounds like this is your first event, period.
Right.
Of this type.
Yes, but the network that we brought in this year, the majority of their events, those range from 500 to 3,500. So we're pulling from the networks of these other keynote speakers that we're connected with, and they have no problem sustaining those numbers. So I don't see an issue reaching that growth point of at least 500 this coming year.
Thanks.
On that.
Danielle, just kind of building off that question, what would be your total sellout for the event?
Well, Hilton Vancouver, the waterfront there, I believe their capacity is 1,100. That would be amazing if we saw that this year. And we could, but I think a reasonable number to anticipate would be 500. 700 would be my max goal for this year, because we don't want to grow too fast.
And I had another question too. The timing for the event, you know, some of our categories or questions that go along with our grant application is for folks to consider holding an event kind of outside of the summer season. Would that ever be a consideration for the timing of your event?
We definitely would consider that. This year, the only reason that we actually chose that August date is we were trying to shoot for roughly a year from our launch of the first year, which we did September 5th through 7th in 2025. So we chose that August date partly because of Hilton's availability and because there's a local, I don't remember, it's like a food, maybe it's a food and wine event that was happening in the region. Like I think it's the third week of September. I don't remember. Is it a jazz festival? There was something that we were trying to steer clear of, but we'd be open to moving it. We would want to talk about what that looks like. Definitely open.
Do we have any other questions? Christy?
Yeah, thanks for being here. Can you specify, you've got a lot of opportunities here, but could you specify what you would specifically use the funding for?
I believe at this juncture, it would be for marketing. That was the only weakness that we had in our launch event was, and the part of that was I only had 3 months from the time that we closed the contract and the event date. So we were trying to work around a lot of moving parts. I believe we would use it to market and bring more people in from other areas and other networks.
I think you mean marketing the different lodging spaces. Like we had people come for staying at the Hilton, but because we had so many moving parts, we weren't able to effectively get the word out about different areas they could stay as well. And even some of them, you know, using the discount that we offered for the lodging at that time. But, you know, hopefully having a little more time, and when we do this the next time around, we'll have more ability to get the word out and hopefully partner with other smaller or different hotels and areas around the city, not just at the convention center. And I think this could help with some of that.
Thank you.
There were 2 waterfront hotels that we were hoping to buy blocks in this year, and we weren't able to do that last year. Again, just because of limited time and resource.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Okay, I had another question. I was wondering, when I read the application, it didn't seem like there was much strategic thinking around kind of your reach beyond the event as far as partnerships with any of our local businesses. I was just wondering more about that.
We'd really like to. I think because everything was so last minute for this last one, and I've talked with Daisha and Danielle a little bit about this. Daisha actually lives in the community there, and we talked about just partnering with different businesses and things, ways that we can offer people to be more involved than just staying at the convention center. So whether or not that's different, maybe like discount codes or things, or if we were to do like an after party meetup or something at a different restaurant or things like that, or maybe host a workshop or something at the event at a different business location or something like that. I think there's a lot of ways that we could partner with that for the Asset Fusion event. But then I think when we bring in, so our company is building a sports complex, not in Vancouver, but nearby. And we've had some good conversations about that. And I think when we have the more groundwork with the sports side of things and more involvement with that, I think we would like to involve like some of the youth and the different high schools and different things like that for this next event. This last year, it was more business focused and it was kind of kept to the group in our network that we have now, but we really want to expand that so that it's something that's beneficial to the community and not just, you know, people are there for a few days for an event and then they leave. We're open to, you know, what are some different ways that we can coordinate with other businesses and have them involved in different campaigns and things to create more, you know, tourism dollars and money funding into the businesses around the area, so that it's not something that's pulling away from the community, but it's something that's, you know, giving back and building more relationships there.
Thank you so much. Any other comments or questions? All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Next, you're in person.
Well, Bravo's technically not till.
After hours of business.
But if they're.
But if they're- Yeah, but they're supposed to be here at 8:45, so I don't know.
Oh, 3 hours. Oh.
I'm wondering if I'm looking at it wrong.
And maybe it's just because either they don't understand or maybe I don't. People to apologize for bringing people in just for a couple of days. Isn't that what we want? So I want to, it was just odd to correct her and say, no, that's good. Yeah, because it's not a program just for locals. It's to bring people in. They weren't the first ones to do that. And that's a lot of hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Like, we should be applauding that. I mean,
Yes.
that's a crazy amount when they could probably take it to Denver and be,
And the timing was based on the hotel's availability. That's a neat time for our convention center space.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that, but they were actually going to be at one of the higher demand festival dates. So that's where we were telling them, could you move to another date? So they're kind of doing what we need them to do based on demand.
And their ask is minimal.
Yeah, yeah.
And they said this is the first year they've done this?
They had
Yes.
it this year.
Okay,
And
but
then
they did, okay.
Then they contracted for next year.
Okay, gotcha. All right, yes. Because they did say in their local economic impact, back to the question, that they did have 3 offsite events at local restaurants during their time. 100-person after hours event to witness free. They frequent as many local non-chain businesses as possible, and staff encouraged our attendees to do the same. They sent push notifications out encouraging people to find local restaurants and coffee shops throughout the event weekend. So they did those push notifications. I don't think they answered your question very well, because it does sound from reading this that they did more than what they were giving themselves credit for on this interview.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Their average spend is over the average of a typical convention at the hotel, and we are a local business as well too. So I think they're just being maybe a little bit humble based on where they come from on the event planning side. This is a small event for them versus for a festival or an activity that we're looking at.
Did you guys refer them to the grant, or how did they find out about it? Do you know?
They've been working with Visit Vancouver.
What is the event? It's like a.
Business building wealth
conference?
I think it's a professional conference.
Professional
Yeah.
conference,
So they're bringing their stakeholders, I think, and they're like mothershipping here.
Yeah, I think that was meant to be a handout, but if I would have printed it, I don't know. It was kind of weird, but you guys will get that. There was a lot of writing on there that was very small that you probably cannot read.
Oh, the one that, what you were
I
showing.
was thinking if she was a famous athlete, because they kept referring to her as like to us.
I don't know if it was meant to be a presentation.
Played soccer. Played soccer or what's?
What was she an athlete in? What was her sport?
It looks like soccer, but
Okay.
it looks like just college soccer, so
Her
I don't know.
husband
I say
played
just, but
basketball.
who did?
Her husband played college basketball at the highest levels and played in Europe. I was looking at their website while they were
Oh.
presentation.
Yeah.
I was ChatGPT and like, tell me about these people.
It was pretty impressive for them to pull off. It takes like a year for most conferences to pull that off. And our events team was like, you book this 90 days out, and they really they pulled off a very high caliber.
What's the sports facility they're building?
I was wondering the same thing,
Because I can't find anything on that.
that they're building a sports facility.
Yeah,
near
so
Vancouver.
this is-
No,
It's Richfield.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is just like third hand from my sales manager that works directly, but they've purchased a large amount of property in Ridgefield with the intent for that to be developed.
So like basketball and just a whole that you would rent out to.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
They've said a lot of big things and they've come through with them too, but there's a lot, as you can see, they're definitely a lot of things.
I mean, if they're building a sports facility that can house youth sports, that will be very beneficial for the Richfield community. Because like there's one, I used to work in a regional role and had a hotel in Centralia, Chehalis, and there's a venue there called the Sports Hub that has indoor baseball
I was
fields,
just gonna say-
indoor soccer fields, indoor obviously basketball courts and all this stuff. But in the fact that they have indoor baseball,
Yes.
we were having all the smoke and fires. Everybody booked their baseball teams there, and the hotel that I used to run there was like blowing up with the insane.
I'm from Centralia and they built that after I was done playing sport, but it's a very cool. Yes, I'm.
Yeah, it's an
myself.
amazing facility.
But
So if they're building something like that in Richfield, that will be great for, and there's not a lot of hotels in Richfield, so they'll spill our way, but.
that's what I'm curious about. If it's like a full indoor, like the hub. Centralia gets,
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all Centralia's got, sports and outlets, so
And the casino.
that's about it.
And Great Wolf Lodge.
So it is a huge thing.
They have a lot in the dry. Right?
I'm from there. There's a lot there. There's a Walmart. Well, now they have a Winco.
The Chehalis Drive is built over there.
Well, yes, but, you know, high school, we hung out at Walmart. That's exciting. That town is. But they do have a Winco now.
All the more reasons ago.
Why didn't they get a Costco, man? My mom doesn't drive Tumwater to go to Costco. Oh, is she waiting for?
Someone's parking.
Almost sounds like it's.
Yeah, I think maybe the growth of the sports is might have been what they thought it was even for, but they haven't. So it's the abs what it's implying.
We were on a good roll.
Yeah, everything on ChatGPT is like there for.
That are red.
Mhm.
We were like rolling for a minute.
Yeah. But there's like, looking at their sports hubs, like there's nothing showing this stuff and it's already the sports hub for Richfield, what's already there.
I'll take care.
I know.
But
Thanks
for some
for.
reason, when I scheduled this in this meeting to go, it's like double booked.
No, that's okay. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Come
Hello.
on in, you can hear, stand, wherever you would like.
Everyone does have a copy of your menus. Oops. So,
Looks like it's up there.
yeah, I don't know if I need to share everyone unless you want me to.
Say again, Kevin?
Everyone, all the committee members have the packet
Oh,
you
good.
guys sent me. So I don't know if I need to share on the screen, but I am sharing so you guys can
Okay.
see the time.
Cool.
When I have it up.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh.
You guys see the timer, okay? Or too small.
Oh, sure.
I can make it a little bit bigger. Alright, you guys. Ready? Like I said, I don't know unless you want me to scroll through anything. I just have it up just so I can.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll just go through very quickly, kind of a minute with everything.
And they have, like I said, they have it in front of them, so.
Okay. Before we start, we actually just got these
in the mail, and I'll pass this around and everybody can take a look. This is a really cool, kind of a coffee table book that Maria put together on the 25th anniversary of the festival. So it's got everything from 1998, missing COVID years, all the way through this last year. So,
All right, you ready?
yeah, we're all set. Okay. So thank you for inviting us here, and I think you have that packet, and I'll just kind of go through it hopefully fairly quickly and rationally. But the first thing I wanted to say was that there's some criteria that we have for lodging tax for the large event and festival grant that talks about the intended purpose and eligibility. And our organization meets and exceeds all those criteria and beyond. The event is hosted by a 501c3, which we are. The festival has significant number of visitors, which we'll address. The event is open to the public, and the scope has a change or a change in approach or a scope that's about significantly different and designed to attract about 20% new attendees and new communities. So we have all of those criteria and meet all those criteria. So first thing I wanted to do was just look at the very first page that we had, which talks about economic impact and cultural tourism statistics, and lots of detail, but the two salient or most important points are kind of number one. The very first thing is economic impact, and we don't just kind of pull this out of thin air. It comes from the Arts and Economic Prosperity Calculator that the Washington State Arts Commission and most big tourism organizations and arts organizations around the United States use. As the Arts and Economic Prosperity Calculator created by Americans for the Arts. So using that calculator, just in 2025 alone, our expenditures in the city of Vancouver were about $250,000. And based upon the numbers of people that we had attending the festival, we know that there's an audience impact of $279,664. That's a rate of about $46, almost $47 per person. So using that calculator, we know that the festival this last year had an economic impact of a little over close to $530,000, and over the 25-year life of the festival, about $13 million economic impact on our community. So last year, we had 60% of the attendees were visitors, about 40% are local. About 20% of our visitors travel greater than 50 miles round trip. And the farthest was from Marco Island, Florida. The closest was from Wilsonville. The second page talks about specifically visitor statistics. This last year, we tracked visitors from 19 states and Canada. And we had visitors that actually attended from 128 different cities. And this is just sorted alphabetically by state. And we know that based upon ticket sales. So again, it's not just sort of, we're guessing. These are actual documented travelers and visitors from these specific areas. Then the two components that we have that we're expanding is we have this component number one, where we're doing this new program called Concerts at the Marina. And this would be a set of 3 concerts during the month of July that we'll be doing at the marina down on the Vancouver waterfront. We already have that. The owners of that have already committed to it. So we have all of the infrastructure, all of the in-kind contributions, and all of the technical details are already agreed to and committed to. There's 3 concerts that we have, which are very, very different and designed to have cultural diversity, to have outreach to new communities. And this would also be used as a way to market to the to new audiences for the Jazz Festival, which takes place in August. Then the second component is for the Jazz Festival. It's called Celebrating American Music, Cultural Diversity, Social Justice, and Music Education. And so we have 3 musicians that we have selected specifically for those criteria for the 26th annual festival next year. So I've got 12 seconds left. So I think I tried to do that in about as quick as 5 minutes as I could. So, yeah, thank you. So we will take any questions that you have.
That's questions. Steve.
Thank you very much for being here, and congratulations on 27 years of having this event here. I guess my question for you is, glad you have another part of the event going on here, but I've been on the board here for 3 terms, 3rd term now, I think. So 3 years, 4 years of COVID. And I've seen you guys apply every year. I think the spirit of the board is to try to help start up new events that are going on. So after 27 years moving forward, do you foresee yourselves needing to come back again next year for
Every year? Absolutely. I think I was on the, I'll address that from an historical standpoint. I was on the original lodging tax committee many years ago when we organized this. And I was on the design committee for Esther Short Park and the very first Arts Commission as well. And we kind of worked in tandem with all 3 of those components to kind of come up with the idea of creating a lodging tax that would support arts and culture, as well as eventually a tourism organization that would promote City of Vancouver, as well as to pay off the bond on the convention center. So the idea behind the lodging tax was to have it structured in such a way that we could create new ventures, new festivals, new events, new arts events, but at the same time support things that would eventually develop a proven track record so that you could have them ongoing. And the idea behind that is that you don't have a Monterey Jazz Festival or a Rose Festival down in Pasadena or Bumbershoot up in Seattle without putting support from a municipality behind that in a substantial way. So the idea that we have that, well, we're gonna fund this particular thing for 1 or 2 years, and if it's successful, then it's on its way, doesn't really fit the model that most communities have, because they're supporting those things that are their flagship programs year after year after year. And those flagship programs then have the opportunity to then sort of birth new events as well. So when we did the Jazz Festival 25 years ago, there was nothing here. I mean, there was no Hilton here. We all know that there was literally nothing here. And when we pitched it to the city, I remember Vernon Stoner was the city manager at the time, and Bruce Higginson was the mayor. And I came in with a 1-page white paper. It was like this, and one of the city managers or the city council said, "Well, you need to put a proposal." And I said, "Okay." So I went and I said, "Here it is." And Vern said, "This is it? This is what you got?" I said, "It's going to be awesome." He said, "Okay, I think let's give it a shot." Now, where do you want to do it? I said, "We want to do it at Esther Short Park." He said, "Well, there's nothing there yet." I said, "I know, I'm on the design committee. It will eventually be there." So for the first 2 years, we did it at the gravel parking lot and then eventually moved it over. So the point being is that back then, the history of the city was, we understand you have the capacity to do this, the ability to do this, and we need to support this because we want this to become kind of our flagship. Without that, we would have never been able to do this. And so if I were coming here today with the same kind of idea, I don't think it would be funded at all. I don't think I would even get past the security guard. No, I'm serious. I don't think I would get past the security guard. I don't think I would even get a meeting. The support that we can get from a lodging tax is something that can be leveraged multiple times over. So for example, this first component, that we have where we want to take this down to the waterfront and do this new event. In fact, we had a meeting yesterday with the owner of the marina, and he's excited about it because he was looking at this and he's saying, well, if you can get that, then I'll commit to this. And I know that I can leverage additional corporate sponsors as well. But if I come to him and I say, we have this idea, but I don't have any support, and would you do it? No way. There's absolutely no way he would do it. I mean, this is a person I've known for 30 years as well. So I think that to have something on a consistent basis, on a basis that maybe has some criteria that says, in order for you to get this funding or to achieve this funding, you must match it on a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 basis. That makes more sense than we're going to do this for a couple of years and then you're on your own. Because what ends up happening is we end up throwing spaghetti at the wall at all kinds of other events that have no chance of success and sometimes even evaporate in the wind after they've been given substantial funding. And that happened with
Like limited.
something last year.
But just so we get another question, and if that's all right, do we have any other questions?
Does that answer that?
Perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I believe the application last year had the event at the marina. Did that happen last year?
We did not do it.
Okay, and is that a ticketed event?
No, this will be a free event. This is a completely different concept because it's designed to attract new audiences, different people. It's open to the public. It's substantial cost. It's not free to produce, obviously, but it's substantial cost. But the idea is we want to kind of reach these new audiences and at the same time then promote the jazz festival to that audience as well. And this would be honestly more local. We're not having people come from Marco Island, Florida for this.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to build off your question, because that was what I was really excited about, was that new idea for the down by the waterfront. And also probably because I was at an event, there was some kind of I'm now forgetting what it was called, but anyways, they launched all the boats this spring. I got to be on someone's boat and they were launching them all over the Columbia River. And this community of folks that own boats was asking Vancouver to have more events like that. And I thought this could actually bring the boats in from all of the different marinas in Portland, actually, so it could be a whole new and exciting, collaboration with those other marinas. And so
it's amazing that you said that, because that's the whole thought process behind the owners of the marina. They're looking at this and going, hey, we have all these people that have boats down here. Plus we have, the Christmas ships and all that stuff. We could create our own Christmas ship event down here. And exactly. And one of the things that we had looked at was, we want to do this on the little peninsula, the little jetty that goes out on the grass. But the part of the thought was, eventually could we get a barge from Tidewater barge to come in and actually set up a huge barge down there? And they do this in New York City. They call it the barge concerts, where we could set up a barge down there and actually use that as a stage. So your thought process is exactly what the marina people were talking about with this. A completely different audience.
I know we've gone a little over time. Do we have any other questions though?
Just one quick question. Capacity of the marina. What are we looking at without the barge?
Without the barge. It's a small area. Have you been, where I'm talking about, Go? It's kind of a small area, but we've mapped it out, kind of structured it out. So it could depending on whether you did tables or whether it's just grass feeding, it could be anywhere from 300 to 800, maybe 1,000 people, depending on how you configured it. It just depends. And what we're kind of thinking about is an area, a stage that, actually I had a map of it. I do have a map of it, but where if the Cove restaurant is behind me and then going out into this is the jetty this way, we would have the stage kind of up at this end. Everything would be going out. And so the audience would be facing south. There would be kind of free seating here. And then depending on what kind of corporate sponsors or, you know, other donors that you might have, there might be tables, you know, farther back. So it just depends on the configuration. Yeah.
All right, last
Sorry, yeah,
Steve.
last question, and just to be respectful for other folks that we have, if you can just try to keep the answer just pretty concise. What was the reason you didn't do it last year? The arena,
What was
the addition to your event over at the marina?
We didn't get any funding.
Okay, and so this year, if you didn't get funding, you wouldn't do it again? Okay.
Just, I mean, if you said, well, we've got, instead of 30,000, we've got 20, we would reduce it down. We would reduce that capacity. We would reduce it to meet that capacity, but if it was nothing, it would be.
Or 5.
Yeah, or whatever, you know, in other words, we would modify it to fit that, but, you know, I mean, you see the budget, so it's pretty accurate. And as I said, we already have kind of the in-kind aspects of that. The second component, of course, is for the Jazz Festival, and it's kind of diversity and social justice and education that we're looking for. Right, and partnering with other nonprofits on that second component for the festival next year. So,
great, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
You like the book?
That's great.
That's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
I sweat bullets over this book.
All right. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
Right. Are you racing?
We're gonna have Marla join me.
Yeah,
We can
no
answer
problem.
questions with them.
No problem.
thank you.
You,
Thank you.
and you're technically presenting on 2.
On 2, it sounds like only 2 that you guys, it sounds like the other 2, you didn't need me to present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 2, maybe, I'll look to the community. Typically, we do 5 per event, so maybe more like 10 minutes. Is that just looking for nods?
Presenting for 2 events.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes, is that?
Plenty.
And
No,
and
really.
you'll see, I don't know how you're gonna present them, but we'll have
Yep.
a timer up here for 10 and we'll let you.
Really, I'm just gonna talk to you guys about something he just talked to you about. And that we've been doing events here for 20 years in Vancouver. And it's been for 5 years, my small family business. And for the 5 years before that, I was the event director, and then I've been a part of events throughout the Pacific Northwest for that other 10 years. So we've been doing this for a long time, but he brought up a really good point. The events, this infrastructure of what we're building never changes. But what we have to go after for funds to feed those buckets do. And that's what we were up against greatly this year. We had cost of shirts and medals almost double. You have that happen to an event even a year before, and you try to say, how am I gonna combat that? Well, we couldn't even combat it when it was happening to us 2 years before from pandemic, let alone in the middle of the race season when tariffs happened. So what we do is we come to the cities that we produce in because we have something that we've already built for you. A lot of race companies like ours or nonprofits like ours will come to city entities and say, we want to try this idea, we want to try this race, and we think we can bring in 1,000 people. Well, guess what? I already bring events that bring in 2,000 people for you guys. And in most cases, 50 to 60% of them are coming from 50 miles or more. Now, that straight line is a really hard thing to do, to draw to say what hotel they're staying in, what Airbnb they're staying in. So that's been a hard thing for us to do. But we can prove that these people are coming from at least 50 miles or more. And so we know that they're staying in our communities. And we fit the bill for that. So the registration, and we have shown in our budgets to you guys for over the last, I think we've been doing this at least for 10 years, that registration fees only cover 50, well, it used to only cover 50% of what we do. Now we could show up, I could show up on the waterfront and do what I hear the Parks Foundation is going to do in a couple months, and that is do a fun run and have people donate. That's great. Can I do that? I'd like to do that. I'd like to show up and have a fun run and let people just donate to me. And then I can donate directly back to the people that are our nonprofits. But I can't do that. I am required to bring in at least 10 to 20 porta potties that cost me anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. I'm required to bring in police. I'm required to bring in permits for food and beer and all the things that we need to do for events. But there are events happening on our waterfront that aren't required to do that. I spent a lot of time the last 3 years chasing those events, and I can't do it because I have to run my own company, and it's really frustrating. Especially when I see these being done by people that work in close proximity to some of the organizations that are sitting in this room. So it gets really frustrating because we just lose money over and over, money we don't have. I had to go before Girlfriends and try to find 3 sponsors to donate $15,000 so we can at least be down there and have the event. I can't be in those boats anymore. I gotta figure out, we've had to do a lot of things differently to figure out how to do this more affordably. And we have, and we've overcome some huge hurdles. We have a lot of event companies. Most event companies that are like ours aren't from here. In fact, I don't think there is any other event companies like ours here. The Shamrock, Portland Marathon, those are all entities owned either outside of our country or outside of the Pacific Northwest. They bring in their infrastructure, they bring in their people to work the events, and then they all leave, and that money leaves with them. Our money stays here. I employ people that are from here. I try to work locally with as many local sponsors and vendors as possible. We work really hard at that. So I guess my story and all that is, this took a different turn from what I wanted to talk about because of something the gentleman before me said, that yes, I'm going to be here every year asking, because when 50% of $200,000 or $300,000 has to come from sponsorship or from the city I'm supporting, I pick up needles, condoms, I pick up human feces. I do, the owner of Y Racing Events, every race. That didn't change with Girlfriends that happened down here 3 weeks ago. For the Apple Tree, we run through homeless camps now. I had to spend a week after our race apologizing to athletes that thought it was appalling that I would take them through homeless camps. Quite frankly, I think it's appalling somebody would be offended by that. I think people need to understand that this is happening, but I have to create safe environments in all of that. So the money that you guys are supporting these races with, it doesn't go far enough. What I'm asking of you guys is not going to cover everything. In fact, I still will be short, but it's in the right direction, and it gives me time to be able to go find other sponsors. And we've been really lucky with local sponsors. So there are people that live in our community that are giving back to help us do and continue to do. And that is getting over 2,000 kids to our start lines for free, which means their families don't have to pay for them. That is over 500 individuals with limitations. That might be their sight. It could be because they're in a wheelchair. That gets them to our start lines. That gets over 300 veterans to our start lines, so they don't have the burden of race registration, which we can't change. If I was to charge what should truly be charged to bring our events to our community, it would be more than double what I charge now for people. And we already are pretty competitive with what other people are charging for races in our area. So in a nutshell, we will never stop needing your guys' help because those costs are never going to stop. And for us to bring a safe race to our community as much to our athletes, that's going to continue to be big asks of us. So that's my story today. So what you guys asked me about Apple Tree and Columbia River and Girlfriends, they are events that have been here for 9 years for Apple Tree, and Columbia River and Girlfriends is 18 years old. Columbia River and Girlfriends started out as the Dudes and Girlfriends Tri, and it's evolved over the years, which is really good for the city. Now it's called the Columbia River Triathlon. You guys have a triathlon. It's named after your river, and that's amazing. And I push over 60% of those athletes into Vancouver for a 3-day festival that they stay in our hotels, and all of those things we already do. We already follow a really dedicated marketing plan that does marketing for our cities for 5 events. And I don't think we ask for a lot to get that support to do that, but I would love a lot more. And a lot of that is in marketing. I think the city should market and talk about these events. They should tell people to come to the city and come into the city from 20 miles away and come and spend money in our city and see what we've done here. I've also lived here for 40 years and I've seen when Esther Short was a forest. And I know all the obstacles that we've all had to overcome to be able to continue to do events within our city, but we now have even bigger obstacles. So those are the things I need help with. And I've talked to all of you before, so you know what our events are about. You know what we do. So your support goes a long ways.
Do we have any questions?
One of the things in your applications was a little surprised is like attendance was down last year from what you guys thought it was really going to be, especially with having, some of the new accolades along with your runs.
Yeah.
Do you know why that was and what do you think the effects will be this year?
Competition is heavy. There's, like I said, for our established events, there are 100 new events coming up the pipe every day. We just had our Scary Run event in Washougal. There were 5 Halloween events that led up to ours. I still got my same numbers. I held my numbers. Whether our numbers are within 100 one way or the other, I feel like if we can stick to that, then we're still above the 200 and 300 people events that are just popping up everywhere and just cannibalizing and eating the events that the cities are supporting. So that is one thing. People are being more frugal about where they're spending their money. Everybody wanted to see what was going to happen with Apple Tree. One thing happened with Apple Tree that I was worried that was going to happen is that we were going to get the backlash of changing the course and running them through homelessness. That happened. So with the change in Main Street, I'm really hopeful that that's going to give us a new alternative to be able to run folks up that direction. And then with the partnership with USA Track and Field and their first responder, they have a category that we are hoping to add to the race, not this in 26, but in 27, that will pull first responders from across the country to come to our event. So we're hoping to build on that this year so we can do that with them in 27.
If Main Street's not ready, do you have an alternate course in mind?
Well, I can't have an alternate course in mind. I had to get this one certified for a lot of money. So because they're Boston qualifiers, this one's good for 10 years. What I can do is piecemeal something together that gets us to, I don't think I changed what I'm doing right here, because while homelessness is at the end of Evergreen, they're not on Evergreen. They went through the overflow of camps. I won't change that, but we will do it a little differently. And that's hiring more police officers. That has already doubled from last year. So we already are bringing in more law enforcement to help us do what we're doing. So we knew that that was going to be an obstacle this year when we were hoping that we'd see the reverse effect and have people say, yes, one loop course. Nope, they saw we were running them out to Frenchman's Bar. They knew that where we had to do it. And we got exactly what I thought we would. But we did hold numbers though. So while it wasn't catastrophic growth, I'm hoping that we see that growth after we now have an established course.
Carissa, what section of the city was concerning with homelessness?
At the end of Evergreen and Jefferson, so where we route them up to get on to Mill Plain, they go up, 14th and 15th, they cross over a couple of different areas that have homeless areas. So they went, the Jefferson and the Evergreen one were the big ones.
Well,
and
we are
porta potties. I get to pay for discharge porta potties.
we're opening a 150-bed shelter that should help address some of the worst aspects that folks are experiencing. I mean, not everything. We can't
Yeah, no.
can't claim to do that, but.
No, sir, I appreciate that. I've another hat I wore for a long time, and as I also did race directing, was affordable housing. So I've worked with the tax credit in Section 42 for many years, and I've worked in these areas that I'm not afraid to get dirty and go in and help and see where the problems are and where we can make it safe for them too. So, working with Share House and taking just donations has gone a really far way for us to say that we're a community partner, but we can do more too. And that's what I know that some of my work has to happen this next year as we lead into the event. The porta potties, I don't know what to do about that.
Well, that was my question. So you had to rent porta potties that then you put out and then were destroyed by homeless in the different areas where they were.
3 events now.
Okay.
And because if you guys know us, we're crazy. We have 29 of these lovely events. So we go from one weekend to the next. And during our May until now, when things happen, we literally have to clean up whatever the situation is and just jump into the next. I haven't talked to Sean about the problems that we've had with porta potties on course, but it's in the areas where I can have security. So I have to bring it. We haven't talked about this either. I have to bring in extra security now into all of my Vancouver events because my security folks are not just harassed, they are being threatened. We've had to call the police in on the waterfront 2 times this for girlfriends this year. It's a growing city and these problems are bigger in bigger cities, but we're not feeling that because we're a growing city. So yeah, but we can't put our supplies out and then sit with all the supplies overnight, which is an unfortunate thing, but it's true. So having porta potties going out to Frenchman's, they like to be flipped twice. Then we got flipped in Blue Water.
They were flipped?
One was flipped and the Coop Clover one last year was burned from the inside. They caught the inside on fire. Yeah.
That sounds like more vandalism than homeless people that were doing it, but.
Totally.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation, whether they're vandalized and because they can't unlock them, so now we leave them unlocked.
Yeah.
Which then.
They get destroyed inside.
They do. So we use Brad's, who I know that the city uses, and I know that they've worked a lot to figure out how we can do all this and make it safe. So we have our own locks and we have our own ways to dummy lock them. And but then, like I said, most of the time we leave them unlocked now so they don't damage them to get into them.
How much did you have to spend on repairs to the porta potties?
The last one was fixable, but the burnt one, I think I had to replace it. Was almost $500 just to replace the porta potty. Those little $500 or $200 are so huge to our small company. So things like that, but so is buying, we rent 20 porta potties for girlfriends and they get used for like an hour. And never enough of them are down there. And so we get criticized for not bringing enough, but you're just like, do I spend $20,000 on porta potties? Or do I partner with other events that want to do what we're doing? And that's really what we're looking to do. Girlfriends has an opportunity to be 5,000 people. We should be at 5,000 already. That waterfront can't hold 5,000 to do what we're doing because we shut down the roads and it's just too many. We had with the spectators, we had over 4,000 down there this year. And it was full. I'd like to look at Esther Short for Girlfriends this year. We know now that we're taking it a week deeper into October so we can fully embrace what breast cancer month is. And we need an area big enough to put big enough tents that we can give our athlete that comes to Girlfriends is very different than the athletes that come to our other events. And so we need places for them to sit and places for us to entertain them. So I'm looking for those partners to help me do that in Esther Short because one 20 by 40 tent costs $5,000 for me to rent. That's just a tent. And so I own half of my own tents now. So we bring in a lot of our own equipment, but even doing that, I still had to rent almost $5,000 in equipment for Girlfriends just for tables and tents and weights. So all those little things, and that's just nothing I can do about it. I have to have it. If we don't have those things, then we don't have what we're telling the city that we're promising to provide to the athlete and to our community. That's the neat thing about our events. While they don't profit, I'm not even looking to make them profit. We're not looking to make profits off of our events. Quite frankly, we love what we do. We've been doing it for a long time. I grew up here. I played sports here, and so did my children. And I am invested in seeing our community be healthy because we're broken right now. We have people that have never raced before and see me. I'm 6'1" and I'm not tiny and I run and I get asked every day at our events, do you run? Yes. And so can you. And I see those people now doing that with us. And that's so impactful. Individuals, if you've never been to Columbia River Triathlon and seen over 20 teams of blind athletes doing a triathlon, well, I'm going to cry with you now because I cried there with them. It's the impact, the ripple effects that we do with these events don't end with the event. They don't even start with the event. They go all year round because That's how important it is that we do these for our own selves. So it's gonna, it's,
For these events.
it's, yes, and think about the training time. They're bettering their lives as they're doing these things for themselves, which then involves better our communities. I've been doing this for a long time and I've seen it over and over again, and it just does. So you guys help us do that. So thank you for anything that you can do to help us keep doing it. We appreciate you guys.
Do we have any other questions? Jennifer does.
Hi, I just want to say thank you for your honesty and your transparency, and I'm glad that you pivoted because I think it really helped me understand in a much better manner what you do and the effort you put forth and how you and your events are part of the community. So thank you for being brave enough to pivot at the last minute.
Thank you, Jennifer. I know, we've talked a lot about what our budgets and stuff look like, and those things, the only thing that's changed is the cost of everything. But I can't, like I said, if I tried to pass through that cost to our community, we would not. The ripple effect of that is we wouldn't see the fundraising that gets done, and over almost $70,000 was raised with girlfriends this year. And fundraising hasn't been easy this year with the nature of everything going on. So the fact that $70,000 was raised for Pink Lemonade Project and other local nonprofits with just girlfriends. We've done almost 300,000 through all of the events. So I know we're doing good. We won't stop needing your help to continue to do good. And we'll always find ways to do it more affordably. I know how to put on an event pretty quick, and I know how to do it pretty affordably. So, and we do, because of our relationships that we've built over the years, have means to do that and try to find the most affordable ways, but they're not there as much as they used to be. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate what you're doing here too. Yep. All right.
Good day.
You as well.
Thank you, everybody. We have, supposedly supposed to have other business. Do I have other business?
Just our next meeting is November 7th. And the second half of presentations. The way it worked out, kind of like last year, it's when most of the conflicts of interest will occur. So getting a little bit more advancing in and out. We didn't have to do that today, but we'll do that next time. And then meeting after that is where we'll deliberate around food award, amounts award. It'll also be that administrative cost proposal we'll want to discuss at that meeting as well. Answer any questions you have about it.
I have a question about that. I think we talked about that week, if we're trying to decide if we're gonna keep the 12th and the 14th or just schedule on the 14th.
I was hoping we'd schedule for the 14th.
I know we briefly talked about that in the last meeting, so I don't know if
So
we want to wait.
yeah, we have two options. After we get through the presentations, then we have two remaining meetings. We're not going to need both. So we're probably going to need one. And so we can pick either the 12th or the 14th. I'm hearing a vote for the 14th.
I support that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and cancel the 12th.
Yes, please.
Okay. Great.
We'll do that.
Do we need a motion for the schedule change, or are we?
No, I think
All right.
we're just, so we'll just take them off the calendar.
Saying head nods, unanimous.
Unanimous. And then one thing I do want to tee up, having two of you, one from the kind of hotelier tax generator side, one from the recipient side, to at least be available to present to council, because I think you guys provide good perspective on choices being made. And I'd rather have you guys represent those than be a staff. I'm not necessarily part of that. So we can talk about that later, but think about that. I'll be making an ask for that.
I'll just say it was really hard last year to sit there with Kristen all the way.
Yeah, so last year, I am literally there, I tee it all up, and it's more if they have questions. I don't want to answer questions around why did you make this decision on your behalf? So it really is pretty light touch. I'll do everything.
Yes.
I tee up the presentation. I'll tell you, here's what I'm gonna present. You're kind of there should council want to have some questions, and I'd rather you speak to your process than me speak on your behalf, and I don't want to get that wrong.
So they didn't have any questions. They had comments for you, and for us, they said, thank you for being there. Temple and myself that were there, and it was like, okay.
Okay, I'll volunteer.
It was the easiest thing I've
All
ever.
right, write that down, write that down. That's how I do it. With that, I think we're.
Okay, then we're adjourned. Right?
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
You.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. See y'all next time.
You just write down. Good to see you. Thank you.